also watch our bet ama sika semino enso agya brane sasa na sika de ehia pa sele no ya mama for 511 also no 270 na no so ada so in the pipeline that so run it and nyina na ya bet to a bet saver daroma ebe bo ama ne ma so awie payo enso de ama twa bet na unya twa obedi na ama sika semino enso aye fine pa na kifo adaroma say wopon awia wopon anajo wenu nyani se masa tambia wotimi fa kifo 4-in-1 Gary soaking mix me media no couple yana ma wono to say nso na she fridge mu no am wono kakra bia na am sand cues no be 9 bi out to 1 of my 2 aye kifo na gu aye fufuo bo and ketwa no bi mu medium one no na ma je ma tre no ma ko atre no maza me num sa
na osagum
bon sani na aye
na osagum na osagum
kifo
oh mu ade papa yes mu ade
ana Gary no so no ye kama on say your Gary bu on man said yes waka aye chese aye kan say Gary fufu no ya na ya kese be mo de no wo mama Gary no chese aye crispy masa
Gary akọ
chese sugar no bom light bi ana milk no so ye creamy
ne den ya so
kwala mu kido fami show mo bag mu o ko long journey asebi papa na o di fufu o bas mo
no more fufu
tu jinsu bottle water ne bia no wo hie so no wo tuku no
na wo so ne kakra na wo twen ade
wo de tu
enuama bi
mo de eye kiwo 4-in-1 Gary soaking mix and one some ne ken but money enso be pe bia to na fe mekono enso aye mekoshow eno aye kivo hot pepper eno bia na kudu so bobi ya na fe ma to shisho na chesa wo bo no yo o komasa restaurant no and chesa baby e kan say choba no ana fe mo nso a mo ye orders ni nyina duane a wo no a ofie say ye nkwan say ye stew eno aye kivo hot pepper enso da be ma won sa no aboba de e so sa no aye kama amoya ya na ha dwempa menya nkwan menam no enya te say e bia ase aye nunu sent bi abasa na ha dwempa e ma ne nyanya intipekivo hot pepper ni na fe wo so wa easy doctor jenjebe da say yen kan cha say mamari enso be hono enso ayo dental clinic ana ukwe wo de abefufidi aye adwuma ana doctor so starting adwuma di obodwuma pa entina ma branches out more na no bia say me no ka say minka cha say ha ma ninka kra de branches a jenjebe da wo Ghana no aye koba say 10 and yet today our daso ebia branches ni bi across Ghana adeba akono say over Kumasi branch ni show ye new treatment na bia otu kwan enso ekokofo dia kra na wutimi ade o kada koma process no wo moto aso ewo ho enso ade maw wo se no obeso sin foforo obeso shine silver obeso shine gold aye kaka ana about dodomenu ti yentu senema ni ensin foforo ema wa brobi hu say wasi wo se make say bia wo de no wo so na bu obeso ye filling and simple obeso ye cleaning and polishing aye teeth whitening and obeso ya gingermid ese men kan cho say bamoni ansam obebana afi woni mpanifo no so adinsa wo so wudru aye nkran no mpatema no ngwa main lorry station and afi aye atomic down and abepo junction so Kumasi ya ekran na wo fa so ya bank no wo send fa so abonsana bank awo from asro and gingermid dawa oye atuma and ebiem enso aye flawo woni GCB bank no enso di enimhwe 0559139582 Gingermid and some abejo so Dr. Muzo me fani wi na Africa po embram the police doctor no na doctor no Mamen fanto when him say we ayamuzu garlic bitters garlic ayade ma oni pedua and say doctor said yanka say nuane hini and her bani become at the year dre and some that bedwa so e kire was a drono and so aye juma proper fee at the feel ni pedua ni mo entini ni ba bia mu asisi ya nti ya na wona nte kakra bia wa pre wo tenka se ni pedua ni tutu wo chi kasa unom panimu kotodwe wo jonku wo chiri bramo ni nyina mu no ya wo ebe film ama chesa no nyina no enso kwan sa a chese te high blood pressure no so eyi cholesterol the fini predwane mu ene mpaba no se moja no e wo se timi dia fusa no kam ema komai enso pompi moja no ya eno eye drive fa no sa amuzo garlic bitters ano ana bedi wa kagina mo doctor amuzo ye adwuma e wo tafu inhia so amuzo junction ofro ade akomoro market number no ya simple cra eye 0247 776743 Dr. Amuzo abejo so
yes polytank adaruma say ni ban water storage tanks you issue kroma polytank ana be kamfo area ma be 30 years ni and you dey juma e Ghana and ni tuaso national so e ma me se be bia Ghana ha wo bia no obenya polytank atode o me prices no auto one kind auto kumase auto bie and photo tamalia be bia no price the same dia me ha ho be bia bia no betimanya bi na fe what one anu ma kama ban original wa wonim dada durability na fe quality bi bia so entisa no so efama me say na de wom and say yenyem momo payment online enti no aye kaiba ye bo amawate say de ba uma obi anya waza e wo polytank dumade unti anu ase no so ave amame Lawson ye kan say beverages limited o madaruma o me de Lawson Delayman Bitters anaba Lawson Delayman Bitters na bo ama low sperm count na for so na emeye eno no banisa sa ya na egu na ho anisa wunya ene drive na no ma eno etimi bo ama bema on pama gudie no enso etimi awie na ACPC ta Delayman capsules no eno oyo ba men's sentences so ana afi banisa ne libido no atinka no forma banisa wunya dre no bo ama nuama kama ofre 0248619999 na onim padifo awie na Solak Natural Clinic mo ana me come for mu de amount say wo kaize man tanyai e mema duro eno no emu say bema say wo kompam na wo bo adwuma na be 5 minutes bi wa wie na obai ebusa say wa wie anu dia adwe wo za question ba etimi tiw sunsum so enti bo adwuma ne wo say wo bema mu na wa wie oyo banso ase wonye eno e Solak mixture so twan eno eboa eyi white o de poane sa nnuama no nnuama bi ensuo bi egugu ni nyina yi ade afi wona wia na fe mema no so prostate no eba ne se prostate no moya na se enya adwuma ye mfanhye yi a eno ntimi ma de se fam no emfam yi hanchi anu ase no so adem amame se no so mame se ne Dr. Solak Nrei ana wo fresh 0245616028 na fe woni ya Alaska bema dem aye neat na what purpose eba ne 3D and 5D so akroma woni sasokra blanket saudio ana fe ye ka best ready ye ka pillowcases wasem carpet awde to for ni nyina no wode bi abebi na etwagu e wo TV so awo hwe de wo hu nyina no ebi awo shop a wo ba obenya bi ye wa dum ye ben boss 7 building no across circle tiptoe lane no inside shop house 0554114878 na fe woni ye edin komokoa Mr. ana fe koa empty Mr. eno eboduma koa plus Mr. na koa Mr. no eba ni immune system a support immune system no ema ujina brane se ne eba covid ba ye na chase chinkofoi ya bokwa Mr. ne de ye je na so pa because dre a support immune system no from tete into a sense tete ana fe ye ka malaria sama eno no eno so adwen kwa chini peduana wutumi se wo dawo awode wo wuro de wo ase aduane kwa wutumi ni wo de kwa empty Mr. eno ana ye malaria enho adwuma afi amontia no ase no so se dre ana ye kamfo de ama se treatment ne de onsam ebekam wa fili kama pa 0244726611 na ne kwa empanimfo adin koma na afi eche edi na ye kan sano so ama me se meme se ye katakum wasama na moja tumzo takum de mode na eno no ya de ama ene wo na yenti wo tafre a utumi se mode sa tenka na unya ewo mpam wo yo ba wo ye bema unya sa tenka ne bia wo de takum ti DJ Mafia wo wi nanom ze wo mo se adroid ye meka ye wo mu guso a wo mu guso tafre ne bo wo mu pa tabia ba Mr. enso kia malaria jaundice ana fe typhoid obi wo a onante kakra bia no abre wo dronie ana zem we no eye azenica no so boa ema che se eno so skin rashes ni ade nyina eyi edifo na wo drag here obetimi afre number 0243686861 na onim pedifo din komo kofi amu amabo stone salim production adaroma eba na bo se ne design anasa wo ye ewo fie o tiles ana woto anasa bia o staircase o walls ni nyina no aboa edi dwuma acha se ma design kama ko amo eye sculpture decoration no mabonie ene ye kofi amu amabo stone salim production ana make kan wasem kofi no wo ye adwuma ewo nationwide enti ba bia obia no obetimi di aboa enso abro takwa ana obezie 030203062006 0203062006 na fone kofi enso ewie na current stick wo mo adaroma zero mixture ne G eyandam yare adro rush se gu nkomo no so titi na yekro wo yo ba sa nuama no ema nkomo no so nyede pampan bi ne nuama bi on se de sitie wadro nie but we one ni bi mixture ne capsules yi eno ano no wo so te ho e de afi sa nuama yi ho na zero man capsules de eno e boosti bema wa ye mrempem wadro pa nie hindia ba mixture typhoid na sembia blood pressure ni nyina be free o 0246348334 na doctor amu atwetwe nkom high sense o madaruma high sense na wajeme so asene eba ne se home appliances so o sound system o water dispensers and after 5-year manufacturer defect warranties oba na obeto adena mfie bebre ne ade atoso ama se kom asanye ya ultimate de bam yesesa ezemont yema mania sonko o akra chimota obehu yen ewo showroom wo Islegon obehu yen ewo ye kanisa la pass wo kuma se adum ana fetafo o takrade o mankasim yen showrooms no 0302550000 now the high sense we emulator bar supplement wo mo adawoma kantanka pharmaceuticals wo mo anadem abaheba pharmaceuticals yi anu mo di abama FDA approval na emulator bar supplement na boa ema honam no adwuma kama nipadua no boost immune system support ma chese na unya hoden agina brane se nipadua chese ode ko adwuma ba mo se nipadua na buo wa ayemro enka da bia ko fitam na mom eba ne se nipadua nti no se de ehu no na se yare onyare numadro na boost immune system ne ma ene emulator ba supplement yo ba wa fa fra fa bi enyeye o ma kra no fa o fa bi enyeye ana kra ni mfe dumienu a ontimi mfa bi 0535 112813 na unia we Semens Vital Bamistan capsules again and American wasem day ama mema droni again and no katima campaigns whom saham and no ayadia obane bema uye ho adwuma ya etimi boa ma uju die pa na untimia wadro Semens Vital Bamistan capsules again and no ana boasiatica otoase wono eba no veins no twetwe o mo hyehyɛw ni nyina no ene so nya drabia ebeboa na gansa eye ene nompenu adwuma entisano so 0240616061 baby ato drop piano benya bi enso etimato kojak for adaroma kojak charcoal toothpaste etwa se wosonom aye se akado on se ye twi edan ho no se ne wosia ye no eba ne se ha adwen wanum enka wonya drink anaso nya kojak bia eno eboa ema wanum nka afi ho wosen eye fita ema no eboa kojak pro code no se papu anabo anasembia utifa edwa bro ne beka migraine ni nyina no ayade se etimi boa ama nuama ayeka nti kojak mafo so no de eno de sawa wani tua eboa ama numka no enso front kopa bi 0244559597 na oni adin common natural in fadaroma proslava odunso emaye no eno eboa ema odunso baye enti sano so ema me odunso na mu apan mienu a wadro pa enie true man ene capsules no ye can say weak erection and after premature ejaculation and after lack of sexual drive and pem a good only atinka wadro ne Congo ointment eno ema ni pedwana ni ensan nyina hye 0249017101 na phone we power specialist heba hospital ema me doctor Kosua Biaya na daroma hepatitis ABC we just we free okreto ase fatty liver ulcer fibroid kidney stones ni nyina no de nubra ene hama ene ya adwuma jiri Edi Kadri eye meme dre bonus crowd man afa ebatena ba Mr. Ebusti immune system na kra kwabenya AC Pre-Road or Power Hospital bus stop ana Kumasi Freyase Bosomtwi Road no ewa Duaya Junction Tekrade or Rekoto ewa Naji Estate 0244 544422 na fe woni awie tie me na fe me mpadwuma ma na fancy na wo tie me na fe woni makeup here woni you can say Bobrin and have acrylic nail fixing or 0244 041 643 0244 041 na me peduma ama na fi wa bi na bibia kama jifansi so me na fi nto aso
wo baby Adri question of the day proudly sponsored and as brought to you by Amuzu P Herbal Mixture no and just infection drone any say wakwakwate gonorrhea ne bi so ye bema na so your ba wanya gono wo be so to as one time ema yade ekwa wa drone Amuzu P Herbal Mixture eno ene bedi wa kagina me to as yentempa so mano yana otenka se nkafu ase ba enimwa ama chese nyam entimi ma wase wadro no enso Amuzu P we no na bedi aboa na manioma nso aye fan afei wote se wase kwan ni bi eye kase wo be se mo na ekuma bi kama se wo ye bema na ensansa ku bema udwi na ye kuro na chese nso yi tre na afei enso vita bi efru bema no mu ba dro no enso Amuzu P Herbal Mixture ene be boana ama vagina discharges ni na nso vagina daruma and the question of the day and so Amuzu P say yemisa say for mommy keep one sell one, keep one sell one. Ferran Torres or Rodrigo. Now say Ferran Torres of FC Barcelona and I say Rodrigo of Real Madrid. Who keep it back? So your coach says now who omumienu yesama baku stay nebia ton bakua. When a man atana when a wujano kwai. I want for church or my drama se masa. Ferran no form. I know be so no form. I didn't why. Rodrigo na mam just say. Why come back Saudi Madrid? Yeah. No, Masa now born a Frano born Rodrigo no so.
Tell na drink chess, Ubia or the Obeto. So based on form this season they come for Ferran.
Okay. And Ghana from where?
Pedro Amadina Cruz says Sal Ferran and keep Rodrigo as a couple. Today is my birthday. Okay, happy birthday to you, bro. Brighter man kwa GFE was based on this season performance. I'll sell Rodrigo and no Edwanu so diaba in our club is a current form there. Ferran far better than Rodrigo and what diaba Simon Skelly said keep Rodrigo now if Tom Ferran and no Edwante Abbas NABD was a currently Ferran is on top or top form pa or better Rodrigo Amanako and Gilbert Maff a fancy. I will keep Shaq Ferran Torres a super player and on no day about said then it's a simple keep and Rodrigo Neto Ferran Manunko and a branches or say your boy Ernest inside Dusa Rodrigo is far better. Okay, and Duatiaba Kwaku one that's based on current form. Ferran is far better than Rodrigo and no Duatiaba Nese Omomo de banning in base on current form.
Okay. Well, the MMO and I was say I'll be keeping for an affair. I will gift Rodrigo for free. Your friend, Kevin at this message, you know, and so at the buyer, I also Felix I say Rodrigo ever stay for an ever call, and I will so and so say about a question. I will sell Rodrigo and keep Ferran Torres. I can say we'll be keeping Ferran Torres. Rodrigo says stays all day. Kwame Asiedu says that one affair when so. Memuna Yakubu say I will keep Rodrigo and sell Ferran Torres. The message, you know, and so I don't know. And I will say my name is Dari Pius Fancy. I will keep Ferran Torres and sell Rodrigo. And also the message Benano Peno and some this one says Francis from Adenta. I will always keep Rodrigo and sell Ferran Torres. Root boy say Rodrigo Ebestena where I say Ferran Torres and so Aqua no and some I also the Benano Pay, live with the show. Fay Waman Ford Grosso, Edromo so Bana. This one says, Fancy, watch the show live inside in KZ. I am for you guys are doing super marvelous. Nemo so keep I have Ferran Torres. No one Tom Rodrigo on Compeba bin Fakra. I feel Bismarck Bamfo, and so Kipu Rodrigo, and Samuel Aban so say, Wobe Kipu Rodrigo. We so say, I will keep Ferran Torres and sell Rodrigo. Now, Chesem say, more now will be our baby or best or Denadian and some tattoo. And I'm in family bed course. I'm a bed way course and brain a quick young call a foreign and Raya Branham as well as one is number 18 oars 21 11 7 and a 5. Okay. So my mention in free Kasim.
Yeah.
Because Ketwa 1,000 Kasia
and Tokasia.
Yeah, Tokasia Precon. 21 oars. Okay. Now 1D9
1D9
111 AC 1D9 111 AC and there are 21 oars.
Okay.
And 1D9 113 A8 18 oars.
Okay.
I repeat 1D9 113 A8 and the 18 oars. Okay. And 1D9 115 01 1D9 115 01 11 oars. I don't know 7 in ye 1D9 117 26 1D9 117 26 and 1D9 119 AA 1D9 119 AA I know I 5 oars.
Good.
I will probably not crank. I will hear now how much is an waki can in a boom.
Nanka, I don't know. Sure.
Now what can boom?
Now be brave.
Okay.
Oh no, it's me for billions no.
Yeah.
Hey. It's really
and I'm playing Kamu.
I'm saying
980,000 things you pay. Me that's sorry not two no.
And I'm saying you na kranke ma.
You missing him there. You mean him there. What now?
Mr. Adi kakra Canada 5,000 oh yeah over 5,000
at watch in a bar 980 something thousand Ghana. Now some that's on my sikeni.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean you pass.
Two bill
push two. Man fan cho couple.
Oh yeah. Be fa. Dem say one day over that sorry name say.
Okay.
Oh free uketi aga say munika.
So what dem panting kan open bank me boss.
Oh na me kan.
Ba we. Over catch him say ayi.
We say e wa no afresh da come so munika.
So kan guma so say na me do say
oh I wan akra. Woni phone bi a website no ni so
980 something thousand.
Ebe fa one day me dem pa etechi so be anywhere. Ebe fa
ye ko for na me hu we bia na me pasting tea.
Oh okay good.
But e ma me yemre benya we.
Oh yeah.
2 matches. Two. And look at 2 points be na. Woman say no.
Get one so na na di abrosa no.
Wontumi 101 point.
Why?
Abo mu free be yi na ida be ya.
Ebe fa nsu.
Abanya metiase.
Since tete.
I say oh that's the end also hey what
that's one no share
what that's one I want to be
that's ni baby
young coming on him now this and so I own to me sports buffet live on to me TV live on Facebook Kobawa Daruma abomori and so be like him page don't follow you be follow I won't share on predator be a come myself so share my fufro and so enya bi hwe na odo messages a good comment section edi aba ya be kinkan ya ma YouTube I own to me TV live and a TV no digital on a satellite Wontumi TV the only remote at the comfort of your home so to coach mo down pem and I say bia wo mu nyum ba bia mo site nom mo twi anwa car private cars nom and it just a delivery guys no mo frɛ ni agrokra afei no mo say wo kra ne mo ye prague afo ni abobo ya afo trata bebefo bia era mo nyina ma se ye kwaba na ye the update enso e dia ba ye nko foreign emra
Anwa juma no you Yami wohoda Se uji didia Obeya juma Asa chrenia no you Yami wohoda Se uji didia Obeya juma Ye bompaye Shamachi Isra Yehuwa Ilahenu Yehuwa Ekat We ahata et Yehuwa Elohika bika Luvika, Uvika Naveshika, Uvika Miyodika, Tode Yashak. In English, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Na guess it is okay how guess no me say guess no me say how many boys in this year me say guess it is say who to sponsor I number one chema anwa juma no you Yami wohoda se uji didia Obeya juma Asa chrenia no you Yami wohoda se uji didia Obeya juma Ye bompaye Shamachi Isra Yehuwa Ilahenu Yehuwa Ekat We ahata et Yehuwa
United Oma qualify nyame yaroma next season womo babo Premier League Ghana fe Burnley bobo kuno womo som na qualify enwa na chase womo so mo kopiem e wa ba ye per the last team wono so be advance the aba Premier League no na chase Sheffield de womo first leg our playoff semi final and chase return leg no womo share 3 e wo home e share 3 e wa we enwa and ko ba se Lampard da ni team no womo som akwa we e ma chase bobo kuwa womo som akobo sa ganu nyina no and some ankoya fama Coventry womo som team na no pay no yere some pinanos abanse say medical ya to them say nyame ya duma wa we kobas enwa our stadium of light wobo kuwa ye first Sunderland onom and some qualifying nyina no na chase 24th of this month our Wembley and chase game no and some betimi across our brand nyina no and some update ebe na no pay yere sansari nyina de but wo hwa nyame ya duma aye 24th no aye Sheffield United and Asabobokua your first Sunderland the movie and some other qualify na Sankebia who the based on form and Acadia Serie Sheffield as a ball one some game our playoff aye semi-finals no and Kabaka Sebia Sheffield Bobokuro one some other qualify our branding no and some aye Kakefi Amaswaya and some not our Branano Peno and some aye update yet the Emma yet for and some our show so I just said no semino and some and some our Jumari so afei mama front to one say and no your matches and some our league anymore and some other so and then about 5 o'clock we will call Deportivo Alaves and some our fear we game our Stadio de Mendizorosa we boss game no and some other team Valencia Boboko no na referee our Kakarisa game and some other so your phone say Jesus go Manzano or no and some other center referee and some other match and also other cross afei mama via team no woman some other game our brasa game I was saying no some other so nyina no via for some other ball woman some game our fear when some near cancer Estadio La Ceramica woman some other boboka fansa la Danis omumi no and some other besia I retired to Bogos Bengoisia and some other center referee and some other massa game no and for Real Madrid abobokua your fansa Mallorca and I 7:30 and some other sama channel person onim sir and now Bonsa about me I champions our league and our Promotional game and a Bonsa and some about me atwen nyame yarmo chana ansana womo some confirm say woman your champion at the La Liga no because any game ever so arches a Madrid Bobo Kono woman some at the Mallorca airborne in anena yes a Barca phone ever shabby nam almost sharing in answer woman bumpers a Real Madrid ever Lucy Nessa Real Madrid elusus a game where now just automatically Barca phone and some at La Liga area so man also over fan say Yavi Aberola just a Yavi Aberola Royals or no and some other body side game now and also some bounce our Branano Peno, yet update and some at MO. Now report from Seka and some money to Ebony, and some HS and what was I came about so much as yet in here. You can say latest Ebony, William Sam Utu Madrita, and a operation of Fanamia Medamona, Amachasa, woman cookie by the Fanasa, and Drew Lunin, and some day out. Not just a Lunin and some day out. Thomas Romo Canning in Anasa will be our near Canasa Breeze, our Chesan and Sano. Yadi some sending funnel, baby, some much chichi, and just a training and also Marcosuna say when you say breeze, and some archers and sending funnel. So I don't think almost one coming in understand. Urano Wontumi anya available for gamer and on some betimi akoso na cheseluni aya out and after Mallorca and some confirming you say one more Japan akwara bi fan sa Takuma Asando one and some aya out achese game and on some abas one so ntimi siakai and from Mallorca mom so wo ko Real Madrid and say enu amedibi bai and achese me catch us omo nyina no one some aya players so proper and we so omo ye out our Madrid game and some our few team mobile woman number Andrew number 11 not just 11 players out woman here Andrew Lunin a goalkeeper Lucas Vasquez and Danny Cavaya David Alaba and Eder Militao Antonio Rudiger Ferland Mendy Eduardo Camavinga Aurelien Chouameni Vinicius Junior and Akwadane Fansa Rodrigo welcome you to Boma woman number I am Akuma 11 woman out Chesamino Casana woman game and Abasonia yes woman some betimi abosa ma chenibia yere am tetane dia kanin nyaro and some amaye for anano pay and some our show no so na mamen fan to one adjam sa kan say and some other report to abani nyaro and some other send woko ayebo ko fan some Madrid be matches and some there ya nam don so pana la liga no shadow mamen ya kan sa vano na dintia ya defan yi adamam anisa wey ayenia kanasa va wo mo ba van answer we inside na AC ebom dia bo office ni bia bo dam no because machines are working no no say ebia dia kanasa wada no anya kamera say bia temperature and some more inside NCT aya machines na etimi say no na yesi media pro and some pro omo a wo mo aye adwuma and some more chess Spain am ye in charge of aya cameras and ya day media pro for no metisi so mo staff and as workers no makuma ko 800 wo mo so mo ko strike now almost strike started and then some and a Real Madrid able game nyamia motena Barca some other ball and to mo in charge no yes so much as susu sana tebia and you say be affected and your video assistant referee and some La Liga and sense the moment about to say be a media pro one workers makuma 800 say one some strike no na ni ebia va matches about costing no one to be nyani and no and German can say Spanish Royal Federation no woman some other key provisions almost say woman plan B any woman divide team just some about mobile unit na chesekana yetimi ko eba any adeni nyina no woman some be use a foreign TV personnel na just omo free Spain no woman and just some be use omo na omo use for na stadium bia I was see a bomb match I ho bia no sound crofo about van mo and just any can say mobile unit va ana chese won be wom stadium biano wom be see just outside the stadium na the van akoso aye djuma ntimo bi an sheki kra van akoso aye djuma ba bra enom aye matches I was about so onsam no ye de aba Madrid game no se bosse bi nei Federico Valverde edi yellow card women's game against Sevilla where you out abasa Jude Bellingham edi yellow card women's game against Sevilla one some suspended abducted and afei ebasa Dennis Ceballos and so edi yellow card anwumre ya na cheso mu game against Sevilla no enyare yeso no so ebetimi abobi e kire say Valverde and Bellingham and owura ye for say Ceballos amom yensa no nyina no and some yellow card away from suspension and no and some serious city ye the update and the aka nyina no and some the emona German can say ye the card ya to him say Real Madrid for say woman be so de Arnold eko aye club championship ana so wo be so de Arnold enso kodia me de abatu gada na say wo be se nkomo pe £1 million bi Jamal Liverpool na nka mo de ato tese abojunsuo na e bia mo jama akodai enso aba me yakọ aye club world cup no na de me say kan se abasa no so a na tese June bosome na ansa no contract aba June abasa ya gise Arnold no wo Syria Mbappe and Paris Saint-Germain woman says some okoye ama chese bon say bia Mbappe and somebody team na abako court no nyina no metene dia mensa kan nyina no say Arnold I was say bia the month of June ne salary ojemu and say bia obete so say bia betimi ama sa do no and some abam and so dia ma kwatana and no kakra fi ama so ye and some ade abana mebeka na no Real Madrid almost sporting director and some asem extra was Antonio Pintus no woman wo gidi be say ne matters atwam yekolo na jomo so mo kan na say Dinto Rano question marks Ebaho ama medical abebeto anim sam Alonso Ebay what one kasana physical trainer Ebano and sam anima nanka bia wo use no maybe atwam wo ye ne na emfa because I know matches no adolso Champions League adolso team bia no wo schedule matches no wo panty say bia enkane na mo use ebia chese anima ba ku yeri bi ana training and sanima no use the training emwa advance will be a set piece coach will be a throw in coach will be a chese de ono and some baby be a watchmentino I was sending you man some assessor edema team no and unti ana matches so mutiri eba sende amani man kokana on say ya discuss ya dominion na e bana yerim say Roman sense no e Mbappe and also no the first of the project na Mbappe dianom report am say kan say yakane ha am yesa discuss and wa krasa owura farsa me ya privilege say wo monton aye Vinicius emanenko say yese wo mo ball El Clasico wie ye amodima Mbappe aban omo ye heavyweight our Madrid omo locker room say bia judo num ene chese Modric num ene omo chese omo ye heavyweight our locker room no yeso omo nyina gia tum say there be say face we die ya akwada ya na wo so LED wonom aroso ye imposter boy ayem Mbappe aroso bibia no wo build the team no around ono sadabe a ebe boama ne man so aye kamadiama boboku a ye fa no some Madrid amano kase no en so aye update sese amano kase no ye beka Ronaldo Araujo na mete say yes afa Barca for say wo mo per central defender na say boy no ampa obenya ko enti Ronaldo Araujo dia no eno so obenya baso ama chese akodai and some paper baby afensa yesu ka hwe afa Barca for so muntie aye dia obekona nyamle no botena Barca ebo Espanyol ewa away na Barca game no and a Pedri and some match at so makomako 200 arches akodai ebo ediama Barca team no when Mr. Pedri dia no what 22 years 5 months and 18 days and about ball ni 200 game and yama bouncer not just was saying your Messi as a Messi about the 200 game no now your Messi our 22 years 8 months and 30 days now so Pedri I get 22 years 5 months and 18 days and a Pedri and some other baba sa record no now Metisa Lewandowski ne bonjo so kra ne na coach ye na league obianum se abeje na kadie na efesa Barcelona edge La Liga na kame Lewandowski mede aye pichichi top scorer ensoso yakobo bola ana ai ohunto no ma start Ferran yebebam na ma chiri ma iresa benta o ya hwehweje ye obi ampesa wobagum amaches wahye na no ya Mbappe ade classic kwababo aye hat-trick amaches akodai number 6 kwa na ekosoro yesi Lewandowski anya no debako bako kra na so Jamin second now the say play anom abese nyame armo tena was started now so yesi manager the full say form na Ferran Torres ewo mu no wontimi bench Torres e ma nye ye bema ewo mu say bia wunya go kina ye na so no de hia ye pa no aye collective effort eno aye collective target aye La Liga eno na also mo je ansana individual anasampo bia ankrankra mo so ma was no enso atimi adi so e ontimi meto La Liga no ntontwene e ma wo ma me na me besa me hye na be wiase na waji goalkeeper e wa bra wo mantimi Angela Liga enso mo na so wonum say goalkeeper je for say Jasny say the contract and say some no wo say yes we could come say Barca for man 2 years but Jamimin say can say Barca contract extension offer amama goalkeeper je for say Jasny no 1+1 and say one man in next season aka based on the motompo and then appearances abesama 1 year na ka no and some atimi activate and tell us opedia I was watch ebesi na kwade men say kan say enye player no pomom na mom no aye Barcelona woman yan fa offer na kranko na mom say enom aye dealer enam kwamu a womom abaso mo ma goalkeeper na say be a won so abetimi ate ase na metesa Barca number 1 choice ye for some Mark Andre ter Stegen Fanama me testing ganteri ni womo se obi won ma so prano okoba yana ne modomo nte said ye bia na owo form ansana wonum epra anafe 2 womo se ansana testigan ekra ba prano emu ba bi na wo hwie pa wo boy na namu enti de Barca fa ne say womo so na pe goalkeeper wo fro ama Jamin kan say goalkeeper ba ko a yesem amfa no Juan Garcia wono ana Jamin kan say Barca bo ko no womo so target akwara ne say womo nyono so adere banka ba bua pa enti de goalkeeper no aye fan say Juan Garcia so be shema enom ababoa ma nyoma nyina no enso atimi aye kama de ma boboku a ye fan say FC Barcelona eno enso aye sa akwara ne ene na no pay no womo so abaso amade ba sere be a sempo kaba say Jasny anywhere na testegan e hwia sa akwara no enso abakafa or 24 years our bro no enso aye goalkeeper edema Espanyol ono na de be kan say Barca for no enso abaso amade ne ba ye the update am I for another pay and some I was sure so many channel cocaine metis and performance on the Jumano Adjama coach and Flick coach and cast this season at Jabakua a deep Barcelona and some like for like replacement Sabia Rafinha Frimwa Jonum Arabano Namadon Bo at Rafinha na I know your question I know Mubisa say Lamin Jamal Efrimwa Yana Jonobon Amaramano to say Lamin Diana because okay a more baby Lamin pride and so me say be a couple of games about that time no numbers of what form of papa Barca club ni game out to so omo brankasa yesem coach no so mum problem and characteristics and some that say Rafinha no mum some problem also ni yo no chance and bobo and ni nyoma that say Lamin Jamal Serebea wo some plan B and some adama chese team no and no kakra from so de ba won some no ye de ema ye chef and anopai and some I was sure us onum say ye kase ewo Italy and adwumadi eba so no aye Coppa Italia final and abaso AC Milan boboku no womo bom ade tia Bologna ukọ Roma Stadio Olimpico ana match we abaso nanu ya Milan aye come back against Bologna womo hye omo ewo league ne mo ana chese anwumai womo se kwakọ final also already womo di kaje Super Coppa Italia and some free aye interfonsem a chese womo twa interfor akoi a chese womo kokoje and then womo sa wakwenya se womo ni ya say a Bologna gen ebeso so na chess AC Milan winya 2 trophies enya bad cry Jamin say kan say Rafael Leao no wo so akwa central fianoma wo fana wa famusuo wujare so nkonso wuja srade akoda we eno behu na asane modema pagya wo kire bi na so wo hwie wo dugu be ma twa watano fi bench ana bana woni managers anya ntokwane ade na so mo so mo kan nyina no say boy no for now there or irreplaceable boy na akoda na fa no na owura no am say 80 years and wo koi na 80th anniversary ana mo busa no say adem plan na chese onya on birthday eno so abe kama pano so 80 years de kabere de parasanka Inter Milan womum ara pepe aye Napoli nanka woma jiskideto no adiamano namum so nya Champions League ni so anka opepa anka onplani onkonkro tese onkomplani kra na se onya league na openamum se league ni kra ma na ne Champions League bank abere de power no ne a tese obi a waye adwuma pan ama Inter ena wono so anya 80 years and was say wono twese bia title mu bako ebe banan for the birthday no wono so ade di Inter Milan boboko no womadi kan kame ati ase say transfer market ni bia womo so ni abebre pa na meche se omo se Joshua Zexi afei enye juwe biem Joshua Zexi eyo bia Manchester akwada no Interfo no so ani abre womo so abaso mo de akwadai enso aba boboko ni Atalanta womo coach na aya Jean Piero Gasperini onsa wobeka se owie season a ana obehuna na manfo se obeko German se kan se Atalanta for say womo be so mo man contract extension 2027 with option I beside na call 2028 inti any sanka kochi betiasia wo de season ni wian ka mo ndwana wo mun sim konya na nkomo kan ye sere be ankono manager yi ensom ebetumi ato aso na wo ya djuma ma Atalanta so djuma de wa ya bi pa wo ka se wo jam ono so akwa ho betero enom aye sere Atalanta fo no ensom be so mo duo mo nkomo na Juventus de wo mo coach wo bra manager fa sa Antonio Conte wo no da so prepare for nyame yare ma next season no Julian some abeso mu team manager na dwen na domo ye no say wo mo so mo number 1 woman number 2 woman third choice and so Antonio Conte na ba Juve Emmanuel Macron kama international koya won samla ni nchi no ma yadwuma no enso mfama la Vicia Signora enom aye seri esite wa brano pay no yare update aba on sa Fabre Gasama bobo ko fe se komo enso ya kono pa na eno bia komo project asamsa the last best 6 matches so mabori na no resource aye kama pa na Fabre Gas project no yes so obeko say obeteno and the combo that's why I already say between 80 ekosi 100 million euros and no and some amount one some other some spending in an say nyame ya duma yes next is almost say one more some boy Europe sabaya Champions League sabaya Europa amo ebe some bob yanunti and sa 80 elko 100 million euros no and no aya budget abobokua ye fer so komo and some other transfer market anymore afrema me bamunchen owura fer so Jonathan Ta say the transfer market na ya tia simunom na third year no answer oba for free and say di pan ba for free na onu na nka sikasem ya wo betumi huno a chese name Jonathan Tano nanka Barca pe batenim say Drew aye sikasem a Barca ntimi mamu kra entuna de menya no say ba mu chimfo no ye say ye ya ta eba for free no kwa de ene wo mom adama no sika enom esombo 50 million euros in that region no aye signing on fee na ne nka afi bia no wo mom na 12 million euros per year and as I gross na se gross yenti hwimfiri mu no ana benya 12 million na mom se yete na be net edia na ne chesa 12 million kwada so ebete na so mo tiri system na no player no and so tabebe se woni bobo ko fan se ba mo chen so abeja djuma enwa ne e ka on foreign vet ali na choma no pay yesare update na and so ade buy na shirak sama me aye foreign vet ne papa aye fan se hands vet ane ne mame papa ni na anopay I was pause bite na me church me delay test ba me church mu say Gentia, omo by onse no bia na so dai say omo se pep ani akwada na kasa ma omo be sam odi akwada ne ba ma be stories no enya ba ko enya mienu ma be pedia ma e ma na che so bia nim se ba mo chimfo no say wo mo ana o tidi initially na wo ya we say papa no e be say ne ba no akọ boboku a ye fa no ba mo nchi ne ma me enso e be say akwada ni stay enso shockingly ye wo ya no say no anwumra circulate say Hans Vert and the wife woman about Manchester up there make a choice on road to know woman far flight every Germany called Netherlands I just from Amsterdam and I'm on far flight everywhere and some at the bar a year Blackpool when say on the private jet and then na jet and I'm shut manu call Netherlands said about Wontumi track and I'm from Amsterdam woman about Blackpool no and a van I free I Blackpool and some about Manchester can in the Swono and I just say I free and it's as a nura woman some alcohol for a there woman person be able who Nansen job for UK dear bana obodo there be a cameras radio I want to crack no much trauma we na they say latest I'm a deba from an apostoria me demanding in understand about sikana on somebody can catch us sir bamunchi na podia and the abubu craft for Liverpool say 150 I you know na tiaba so to akukọ be dia 150 million na mo say Man City bar I 100 million say wo mo san ton o player ema ho nya den na won koso anchi league no ensu na so yes Man City for class he o dey say 150 million euros no kra no say no ana Liverpool for so mo pa wo mo City I ready say kwan bia so no wo mo so mbabetua say ban entua City ebetua ama deminya no sikana wo masande ato akoda we anim no bra sabi essay agye na baby ayesem twa akoda na wo na chesem twani nsunumu ama chesem bamuchimfa koma etie ansof eno na jo na bamuchimfa ka kire aba sporting director ba ko say on finance 100 million euros no na se no ono ani bottom na se bia on finance no aye club no football mu ana yesem Man City ka kire akoda we Pop Gadjola nkasa wono ma ka kire say wo Jada Rodrigo ani akoda we menye na papa no aka kire for vet I say ebo Kevin De Bruyne o ya we wo bi okọ yes omu use the word throne oman kase bia ne position omu say Kevin De Bruyne throne not just na hinwa no akonya na De Bruyne timu a wo dini hene enso abo Man City no eda ho and Obaba Baba the apparent to the throne and De Bruyne niwa Obaba tena akonya iso Obaba anasawoma the ball and some our courtroom when I also kasam yetie yesu yeti bob tesna dwen say De Bruyne ahin konya no oniwa na Obaba fadi adabia no na wo start here wo sane pep and abeya dwuma no tina maame no and chesenura eba enra and some and Man City mpano for be hia ya wo mo some aye meeting me no kasam Man City for no wo mo beto bi pa onim sa wo mo ton wo mo boy baako ye fono Maximo Peroni wo mo ton amana kokomo wo mo je 30 million euros at 30 million euros no wo mo sane bi so amo betimi ye signing bia wo mo som abeso mo ye amena kasa no ensom ay update eba Man City for dia ensom anu no na san channel so me say wo mo da so hwehwe eno ya akodan na ye fono say Rodrigo ensom adia no Man City wo ko da so hwehwe na latest any Harvard and Arsenal team no when we are training our Emirates Stadium report on inside can say and pay we must declare rise a training and a Kai Harvard and so a training and some our Emirates Stadium wa a good news as our branch afi and a Harvard abana me say we are interested Mama Thomas Partey because Partey you know me to say aka 2 months na contract na expire na yenim sebia Partey be stay and sebia Partey stay but for now report am me say can say mete say yes Partey I already say about rejected offers every Saudi Arabia Abana West and some our London we ba so koso bon ama Arsenal boboko no na chese Arsenal for no betimi akwadai and some akane ma sembia ne chese nkomo bia awoso mo som adibia no wo mo so atimi adi ama brantia ye fere sa tome akoso abon board ama the Gunners etim na and no some by kakre from asoye and eba Arsenal for Victor Gyökeres no we say Gyökeres and come you say we ma catch Arsenal for say 60 million pounds and a day Victor Gyökeres eba bremo na 60 million pounds no Arsenal say woman betua na de enam no ka say latest woman and say jama ama Arsenal aye favorite and asem ama almost stand tall and say sika am say woman mama Gyökeres and here na what to be ano aye little over £200,000 and also offer a mutopa not just Aquadano and some any source woman amount to be a tisse Aman Ebium Sir Ruben Amarum Aman Wanyaha Metissa Michael Tata was some Papa Francisco Trincao Aquadana Bassa Janaman Koyanum Sporting Lisbon, one win Gano, yes, Francisco Trincao, coacher, your father said Mikel Arteta say, or Trincao, Amon Fanama, and no qua, one different and a Drubina, Manchester, Alper, Chelsea, some Amolenkeno, your father Osman, Diomande, or no, and some centre back, or ball, Adama Sporting Lisbon, or no Koyano, Metesa Mikel Arteta, so ever said what this Abano, and some Ateba. Now Arsenal for Gio Carrish, you know, wouldn't say player now, your father Benjamin Shesko, I am Sanka Chelsea, and some other some you know, maintain another player, sir, woman, and a banasa Casabium. Now, this time, the Omodeska say, tactical side, new to her, when I coach, there's a tactics, you know, and you are born your guitar, you say, your fire, you see her, born Kodia, you say, some commonly, you know, you say Arsenal, and Perform and Benjamin Shesko, and some Adinichas, and where you are. Now, yes, Omudu Komano, woman, you see Bukao Saka. Videos and the tray Aquadana fans Shasko said a Saka Simon Bono what me train a ball low cross and across the face of goal and it's a one ba now be at the right place at the right time or then more goes to the we shall be pa woman the Saka Dianum and a channel yes way and shouldn't carry their bat woman you see Martin Odegaard and originally if you don't know Bono Martin about free row Odegaard and also Creti Emma striker Esha but you see woman you zoom Saka Diano and some other day Aquadan Edin Koma, woman discuss be and I tactical. Now, so the garden and just have your more tournament. Why would you two son and mother and say no? And some our form I just send them I Kaka Elba. Mamma Post Coastway on Mikel Arteta. Now, Post Coast I say, yeah. Arteta no why adwuma be 5 years any a wo team na ya kono wato so second be 3 times any our Premier League ni mu and wo do akwakodru the quarter final the semi final of the Champions League why adwuma and said Gareth Southgate ade na bia oba build team kama na team na ya kono adwum pampan so a ye be kan say bia oje title ade so na so no ho and question mark won anya bia no Mikel e between the Arsenal at the title and Paul Scholes Abwana Baslamum will be a big question. Yentiano.
I think he's done a great job. As you say, for the 4 or 5 years, I'd snap my hand off if United were in that position in the next 4 or 5 years. I just worry it's going on to that next stage, isn't it now? They've got to a great place, finishing second 3 times, semi-final champions. I know they won the FA Cup in the first year, didn't it?
Yeah,
I think. It almost feels a bit like the Gareth Southgate, where he's done a brilliant job. But now, can he get him over the line? I just think there's them question marks. But I don't think it'd be now. I think you give him at least a year, 2 years. He's built something brilliant. From where they were, they were in an awful position, weren't they? To where they are now it's so much better. And as an Arsenal fan, I'd love to be in that position. I don't know what you think, Gaz, as a United fan now. I'd love to be in that position now. I think he's done a great job. As you say, for the 4 or 5 years, I'd snap my hand off if United were in that position in the next 4 or 5 years.
Dane Mikel Arteta baya wano som na be fam fu no de nkene wo be ka se bi Arteta aya djuma panamom anya bi adaban ana odemoje title said Arsenal fans and supporters e bi san sa ana no Proscos no enso e bi sabi na make sure we say man you for say take it and my Europa League final na de masa Europa League no and obi abanyam yenu ma and pem de betu dwase amorim ama ne backroom staff no nipa makoma ko 30 wo bi an fan formula because their club here there I'm a man for condemn say in Guasiana Manchester Bay Pepenia dia when say on a day latest I mean say Tottenham almost supporters no and some other donso ache omwa one support United as apart from omwa one more take it every our stadium no report to me say can say Tottenham for no one tiri ba say nipa ba say 15,000 and some other was Spain one more just outside the stadium akoye dedashi mume area support to teammate some only take it 15,000 echo support I Tottenham no yes Manchester for money take it on the corner and around base say 2,000 pay and I said yes city you don't some about Dejan Kulusevski yes boy no and so one shot want to be more final game so you be our prayer no one tono I'm a German second say when you race behind time Serbia and piano nyame my next week Wednesday game obetimi abo and as on team awesome now there chances Serbia Dejan Kulusevski one obetimi abo sa game no one say the chances and some are very slim what can say Manchester one Jordan Ashworth ekwene yes o call St James's Park and St George's mom o call St George's Park but be England omo company ono ano my point to say obabeli di high performance strategy and just a new look at St James's Park or St George's Park momeno and you said yes city our brand peno you the update about Manchester and common ano report am say kan say kwadana your friend Adam Wharton one and on so mo dele only born bopa Crystal Palace in FIFA the akwadai and some jumana ni nyina na sika anya bia Manchester foi mo sika mo deto and no and Crystal Palace want to say won't go cheap it mo fan shamutrim and some I don't know na going now for shockingly when say you say and Tottenham omutim no ye de ma esiwo near the Manchester de esiwa player ben ana ono ewo cheseboboku a ye fa no se man you are called Tottenham a wonom aba start here ana gawina for say nipa ba akopɛ Bruno Fernandes and the other Abia team Slimio Atoto in that packing order was a space our quality at Man United apart from Bruno Fernandes our Tottenham wobenya body be a ball woba start womo kan nyina e twambe twa watankwa munya bi mo no na de obeso kan nyina no say Manchester for timi anje Europa League na aba hadrio Montumi anje a big problem on Europa League no yentie some Gary Neville and some attitude
in the Europa League final. It's a big problem. It's a big problem because he's going to end up with the same players as next season. Because what United can't afford to do is spend 50 to 100 million, which is probably what they've got, and then be able to subsidise the losses of Rashford, Sancho, Casemiro. There's one more. Anthony. So you're going to have to basically subsidise probably another 25, 30, 40 million in their wages because there's no way. He doesn't want them. He won't want them next season, but they're going to have to pay for probably most of them. And that's what I think he was saying by being brave. I think he was alluding to, you're going to have to back me, and that means spending tens of millions to get rid of the players that you've signed previously and then bring in another tens of millions of players to actually give him what he wants. I mean, look, if they don't win in the Europa League final, it's a big problem. It's a big problem because he's going to end up with the same players as next season. Because what United can't afford to do is spend.
The manager say Ruben Amorim nyame next season say when timi anya results ni ye na koba say you start league somewhere August the room about September no na results awunyen our Premier League give me the same results and everybody abema and the pressure everybody so because of say baby no mo dano sanka oba na obo mo de kakra bi enya no sanka Manchester wo mo daba say 16th our Premier League table no so no what did you about say Premier League no mudie and you man shedan koyan fama mo to bema I was so more hom so am I just so much bon epeja yentie owura fan say Gary Neville.
It's a big problem. He will be under pressure in September, October, November if the same results are coming. He will be. There's no getting away from it because it's that bad. We've almost forgotten about it, and being honest, from what he picked up from where we were, he should have done better, and the players should have done better in the last part of this season. I mean, no one expected the dramatic drop that's happened. You can't say that he shouldn't have done better, but because he's spoken with such honesty and that we know the recruitment in the club's been abhorrent in the last 3, 4, 5 years. But I thought last summer when they signed those players, when they signed De Ligt, they signed, obviously those Xerxes, Agate, I'm trying to think who else. Yoro. I actually thought, something, this should be a team that go and qualify for Champions League this year. I think most of us thought Manchester United would finish in the Champions League. I think maybe even you had them in the Champions League places. What's happened? I have no idea. I have no idea what's happening there in respect of on the pitch, in the dressing room, but he needs to wipe them out.
And no, I am some former player Gary Neville, so at 220. And no, the fancy Monfanche, Monsanto can drop in a hard drain. Basana Manuel Man, so I busy Bassa, banning in a monastery at Twasuna. New Sabia could hear. Yeah.
Yanko Powder be very calm.
Well,
very calm. Yeah, why a lot of stories, but all your stories in may quantify a lot of transfer stories. Now, a draw pa Dudwana Madrid Barcelona so also see other stories like Manchester United player Bruno Fernandes. Gary Neville more make a point about Tottenham Hotspur how Bruno Kwani only player call bet me anya a biabo or bet me a started or space. You also made mention of the fact say Arsenal 4 and the Joker has bet me a gym come all of that me major interest. I was 7 post course. I can fight Mikel Arteta hono. Me major interest room and yeah, when I'm a person me come on. Started. First of all, we check it how a football etiana yeah. Football egumu ahodo. Make us a football projects egumu ahodo. First of all, say o check it and yema ayana ekoso behind the scenes and sana and yema be reflect on field no so and no other udi game next year e ma wote say ade say na club no mpanin fo hwehwe ade say na club no mpanin fo hwehwe ade say na club no mpanin fo hwehwe and that coach we betima ya adwuma na ana ontumi nye coach we betima ya adwuma na ontumi nye postcoach so say the postcoach wo kan say Southgate adwuma wa ye ma Free Lions no e adwuma no postcoach no ofre ne say ekade ne say since 1966 England they World Cup no omunyi trophy beam as a country na import reaching the semi-final of the World Cup no 1990 Italian 90 no reach semi-final utwam ho just over back to Russia 2018 at the time na Southgate England and him do mo you know so the number for you say Southgate let me say aso trophy mu dia kire England for say oh adwuma na ya St George's no eswaba na aso yi but postcoach understandably and admittedly catch say oh ajitum Southgate adwuma ye England no top notch but ekade because trophy na ntimi ama now or compare that same thing to Mikel Arteta say Mikel Arteta adwuma wa ye yaw the reality is that waje few FA Cups postcoach can
yeah
I want to go in that
one FA Cup
yes or say few titles or can be
okay.
So but or can in context of a big club Arsenal J Champions League da so suppose coach never be o ma FA Cup even Wenger days na ma GB o Mikel Arteta suppose coach ba na obeka trophies once my yaw trophies be na suppose coach will catch Arsenal ne Mikel Arteta of course the Champions League it's the Club World Cup a whole person who Arsenal for and he's questioning why and how Mikel Arteta bet me a grown game no I jump just above baby or ya bedru na momo no ni team no or doubt kakra say Mikel Arteta bet me adwuma and also want to me and or then compare adwuma Southgate here yaw me fan komo no mienu first of all your squad are a coach a bet me the titles your squad oh your ordinary fan obet me say squad ready yankofa coach we mra squad and quality
yes
all levels across the length of the pitch but be original be are good who did say oh coach we there why on the street he analyze here kase yankofa we mra Mikel Arteta or sa squad no anko bet me dia bo Man City me busa postcoach because Man City has been dominating Man City tina Arsenal be second hono we Man City chair a Liverpool. I want postcoach to tell the world say 2 clubs were here hono Liverpool and then Man City sorry you know Mikel Arteta squad be no be breaky omomi no hegemony no you win with squad and then of course the coach yaw Pep Guardiola squad here no we've seen his performance and of course the club's performance Mikel Arteta squad that we put it together no Tomiyasu Zinchenko wa upgrade wa Kofa Timba Moaba Calafiori central defense ni goalkeeping department no wa change akoma David Raya naba wa Jai Ramsdale so onko each and every day we see each upgrade on the field in the final ten I mean in midfield Okofa Thomas Partey by at some point CK akona cry to Thomas Partey Fusama onko looking at our Arsenal or more priority as a club. We for Atletico Madrid Chelsea Champions League now we call Arsenal there oh bawachi your coach blaster coach sika kona kachre wa ye finfin mu ye in the final third no ba yaw Liverpool ye Man City ye squad Arsenal wono coupled with onu Mikel Arteta no Posco so kachre say na sasa Arsenal GBB sign crofo emi no ho na enya no credit 2 obian to me kan chance say Mikel Arteta ye coach on J trophy enya the type no bia say Marcelo Bielsa mo type ye de yetete nkra yo your godfathers ye de trophies here no Mikel Arteta is up and coming coach unfortunately and Obabe lead this squad a year in full transition after Unai Emery mo crabati ashe after Arsene Wenger ko Emery mo struggle. So if you come out to tell me say baby Arteta be do no unjiji on said de no or the Arsenal better line dia, what do you want to tell us? Can't we see progression? Of course you admitted said there have been a lot of progressions since Arteta be joining Arsenal, but these people say those progressions are enough to go beyond Liverpool, Man City and now what budget size is he fighting with from Liverpool and then Man City? The same budget size will be the Arsenal. No, prospectively, Arsenal budget has never been increased beyond Chelsea, even from the days of Arsene Wenger. Arsenal budget, I'm going to Chelsea so that. I'm going to need 2 mutum, and the Man City that share 2 mutum. Arsenal needs a budget size now, but Mikel has done a good job. I'm an Arsenal Baba do this stage in the Champions League. EPL no this season, it's well documented. Say our centre forward the beer and Arsenal betting a hammer for. And it's so clear. I would the boy chief shot ball. And who Arsenal defense away David Raya and your bad coach. Thomas Partey, Declan Rice performance. That a missing piece. This is not a puzzle that has to be solved with difficulty. And your puzzle. Now can Joker assassin. And now can Rodrigo suit to Arsenal.
Shesco.
And Benjamin Sesko. 3 ni nyina no de be sin check akra. Rodrigo.
Say.
Sababi Arsenal dru nya Rodrigo no mohia no.
Okay.
Na Rodrigo no mohia no. Ni age ni good. Or key moments in big games or big game mentality is a Brazilian. But maybe Arsenal dru no. Enye Rodrigo ne be so Arsenal with natural line no.
Samu.
One ko fast telling am na no. Sterling na ye adwuma na wie wan ko fa na ma wo wie na adwuma ye wan ko fa Jesus ama wo ma wie o leave them. Manchester cry ye bi they did the same mistake with Varane no wie na adwuma no he was not really raising Manchester United to the level or they Madrid the koko dru ye no na Varane ya wie baby e wo dru no Rodrigo and a bad jump Arsenal beyond the line. And looking in through the spectacle, me who Seamen, me who Jokers, me who Sesqua. I mean, why am I talking about Rodrigo? Some people go to there. Number 1, he is not high volume scorer because a high volume every season, almost double digits. Yes, say, what should I say? For echo
from 10.
If we be somebody should convince me, but me say, oh, you're a very, very important player in big games. Now about Madrid, how many years in he? Now, how many years? And they are cementing the position. Oh, Real Madrid team. How many years? And Rodrigo are consistent each and every day. Say, Vinicius baby line up. Vinicius were free one. So I don't think Arsenal should go for Rodrigo at this point of their project. And it's so clear. Go for a natural centre forward. Go for a natural centre forward.
But I think it's a new team. Omit Marco for Rodrigo and go for a natural centre forward too. Because
the new thing can say one in the year ebia unya de okane opese o chese for now no obi anu say Arsenal per striker.
Oh yes
and the human need goals.
Oh yes,
so Rodrigo need to be number 9 for Arsenal.
We've established that fact once the most
but say bia me Martinelli Rodrigo say nyanka bia Arsenal to striker wi and left winger ultimately the way back because what can say Martinelli there
in Fanny League you're fanning trophy. But on say share the likes of City, for example. City maybe I would they had the transfer market and what City is trying to do. Who person compete City? Who person compete Liverpool? Now Liverpool no so percent forward. the players are going for. Now say untimi go into the market. Abra wafa Zubimendi, no wafa Rodrigo, no wafa centre forward account just to compete with these people they are. Then I think say ask now questions be brave we see busa. But Rodrigo as a priority, I agree with Newton say he's not a priority now. But I think if they want to compete and compete well with Manchester City, Masa,
and I'm telling you, squad depth, crown, say transition, money new coach, and eba, Rodrigo would have still been important for Madrid for squad depth. We dread that contest in move for squad depth for the year. Team be anyone where we are say, I will hear Rodrigo for squad depth. Bayern Shembi, Madrid now Shembi, Barca Shembi, PSG team and Liverpool teams are through. We are saying when they hear Rodrigo for squad depth, but Arsenal. I build the project be Champions League who or more Mikel Merino by first round strikers whatever you are looking for somebody to finish all the build up, all the creativity, all the playmaking. I mean you don't talk about Rodrigo as a natural finisher. Then I'll be talking about Jokeres and then Victor Osimhen. My generation say Victor Osimhen ever head so yes Arsenal for naturally black players don't struggle to adapt in the Premiership. It's part of the culture from day one of Premiership, no? If you feel 92, no, black players they don't struggle to adapt into Osimhen there or fit in naturally. They don't struggle. Then Jokeres, the no madwini mu no yana Hoyland ewo maniso, yana Nicolas Pepe ewo maniso. I've been following this game, and I have time to analyze certain profiles. I have time to analyze in football, in performance stages.
Also, I've been in Premier League in the Championship.
Oh yeah, we be KDB ne sala so kobai. But me make stages and adaptability. Dia wo ye wo ho no ye do ba obeye ne pepepe. Liverpool for Suarez free hefa. From Ajax to Liverpool. Obai no. Did somebody discuss adaptation? Mo. Nicolas Pepe was superstar in the French Ligue 1. But Arsenal Beirano adaptation he got lost. Jokeres. Arsenal can striker to do the patience, you know, it's too huge for striker baby. But what you say? It is so evident for every Arsenal fan. We are waiting for striker. Hopefully, a can striker. Just as Messi exited Barcelona, now I'm going to be a for 10. No, you see that then. No more to be replacing name after Okoye who Dimrika. I'm going to say it's on Dembele. Sometimes you rush. You rush because there's a bit of responsibility and patience. I'm more trained. Your papa said, "No more forget the walk chrono." Now Liverpool right back. Do no pressure than also. Do you understand the thing? Because Trent Jumana way you know. Oh baba any pepe. Oh baya broso. Why never? Who is next? Now Arsenal attacking. Who is next to lead the line? People are not talking about Thierry Henry standard because he fee a cop. But people are talking about the vacancy. Not anyone who fills it and fills it well. And my dream is say, and yet I feel will be a wolf feedback. And yet risk kakrata home. That's what I say. Hoyland to Manchester. So no Bobo no no Bobo no Atalanta. But levels do change. And different levels, you know, the different demands at the bro. So, in my opinion, Arsenal for being Sikadia. Yow. Victor Osimhen, Benjamin Sesko, Jokeres. In that order, and apart from this. Mean to me and looking beyond the size and fighting.
Sesko over Jokeres.
No, Jokeres and then.
Yeah. Jaffono 20 you know. Yo, my main that story no and to an share Jonathan Ta to buying no. Buying adio mu here pa last season now this season a central defender. But they had Upamecano, or they have Upamecano, they have Ken Minje, they also have Eric Dyer. Nice. Now, Dyer or home pa, one of the most important positions still would have been the central defense. Because parents, and in fact, Dyer Upamecano didn't work. Dyer Ken Minje didn't work. But it worked in terms of experience between Ken Minje and then Dyer to Upamecano. No one you saw imagine the ball. But in terms of chemistry on all of that, Upamecano ni pace, Ken Minje ni pace. Whenever balls drop behind them, na kwa watch be din. And uti na man no ya so ntimi emfiri the line so ma with that agility na you man no ya say the high line of defense abai na bo no to chairman no ya beba afi no yini no ntimi mabiem injuries ha no and I'm all big abam and I crack it on a juma. But with this young goalkeeper, you need a solid central defense to protect the young boy. Now, how many protecting him? Jonathan Tad, you know, now my dream say Obeko. I could see a kind of my Barcelona fool. Because who say I roll her out, tie in no, none so her. But the story away a war make say, they say buying for no day 12 million no money say for Gubutum
15 for signing on. 12 million gross.
15.
Yeah. As salary. So 50 million a year signing on.
We need near than 4 penny view. We need near than 4. Wouldn't time Barcelona ne Jonathan Tadinkobo.
So say flick by now.
Pepe. Consider flick for Germany neighbor. Every day, Bassa Bobo, we are not afraid. What's me game to be? Don't worry. Oh, Baba. But we know, and to me, I support to that deal, no? And he's going to buy in. I think it starts a new phase of the buying defensive structure under Vincent Kompany. And look, Vincent Kompany next season buying big demand Champions League free no.
Any league nibium.
You're so right.
Any league nibium.
Any league nibium. Next season they will demand the Champions League from the guy. In the market be a more call or more exit be a more biano yaw or ye. My last piece, my host we are now with Chamaso. Yaw. What is said Man City under Pep Guardiola? The nucleus of his team, no, are your playmakers, and your strikers, and your central defense, are your playmakers. And not in the Nicosia playmakers. Now I started from David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. Now he's looking for
vet,
and he's just going to make him a superstar. It's a Pep Veta. England be there. Now what now come here and cast and be said. Even Pep no Osunti kakra. Look at the signings targets our person or picking.
City for any serious ya brain.
Umunya Veta. He's been looking for that playmakers, game schemers, player who can channel apart from the over catch no or send him in your sound the kind of catch no. You can't say high IQ. Apart from the coach, they go beyond all. Like as an animal mount to born no boy a coach the trainer. So coach I coach trainer mount defense Bible come. No. Those things are situational and they belong to intelligent players. This guy vet in team. He needs to blossom up. Now Alonso Buano as a coach and Alonso Ejan Hoko. The next move, Ebamana a part of the discussion of Babi and Nico Williams, Lami Yama, Bakola, Desire Due, Musiala Mono. That discussion on this guy's next step will keep him in the bracket. And I want him to go to a club where a year resource oriented to a coach here, where developmental coach ultimately become. He's done that to Messi. He's done on the move with Pep Guardiola and the move with Messi from the wings at the bar central, and he became most prolific season in the career. 90-something goals as 91. That season of Pep Yini Finch by Vinfino. And it's a vet by Boma Pep Guardiola. Now, Doku, Savino. Now we're 10 anymore.
101.3.
How's the game going?
Okay. Well, new me that say video analyst no mama mbra meza ho ansana mama Steve and so aba meza.
Yes, fancy ma yenche tifo. I think say the quest to beef up obia ni team bia no dependent on one your budget, to the state and the level of team no baby an wahye team na kwa kuduru. Na me share teams ni bi request ni one or more na next season Premier League in the pressure bebem. City wants to get Tijani Reinders in attachment to Florian Wirtz or Mope. Now imagine a 4-2-1-3 with Florian Wirtz playing behind
Ellen Haaland,
Savio, Doku, and Auma Mamouche. Then a double pivot of Tijani Reinders and Rodri.
No, no, hide it.
But that's not something that bad. Don't we have a striker now?
No, you can't. Don't we hear this? We share no face any.
You see, the time is a wow. Unya, I'm a for the donor Italians here until when you said Tijani Reinders na agro. fancy or yeah elite number 8 proper box to box technical quality no was wrong and yeah more technical quality near 7.5 over 10 Libya with technical quality near 10 over 10 how manipulative ball in tight spaces and his ability to see past his vision so but one pass not two at two defense move two he's an box to box no so goes no so more na say similar ho chiri ni biara or short bi or type penalty box no mo through upon form say carpet basa utwumu time be net he's that your ideal number 8
no Netherlands for no dey say
and
wait
so the first question I was asking myself when say AC Milan and Kasaba bi omo gina ne de omo pese omo ye no do they want to sell Tijani Renders omo here scanner I believe say AC Milan had opportunity to sell some key players last seasons in the last 2 seasons but man ton me de bia me kan say o de beton Tijani Renders de kafa ton Rafael Leao because there are certain players be omo replacement den ebi ni Tijani Renders but the state that AC Milan finds themselves in now they are becoming feeder club player in the call fancy
Tonali
and your man say 7 times UEFA Champions League team Ruud Tabo Frank Rijkaard Marco van Basten and one eka Rui Costa wansem atiaba ma Premier League for any team be terms can no dey be fa akokɔ be dey je near 2 near the core. How are you even going to compete with the likes of Inter Milan? Because Inter Milan, nothing shows they say I can't channel glue nibeko. Bibi a say Barella no or free Inter Milan a baby. Bibi a say Henrik Mkhitaryan or baby.
Because Barella no Pepper kono but boy no dear.
Tempi.
I say Interna.
And you might be able to sell Tijani Renders for about 80, 85, 90. Which is kana why now Kofano be replacing with my boss Arbon and the amount. But that is the reality of how the football pyramid is nowadays. The power of the Premier League, is supposed to attract the best players in and around Europe. But fancy, and they players in the crowd available. I don't know person mobile Spain, and also Bokobo by Germany. For example, Flovet in Koma Yedi. Akurani parents in your man na agi to say city scan modu but by me for na wura akurani trim
what omo kana e dia obobo
Mbappe mu nyina si so no e free England obie no motimi ben ho untimi men ho kra and the Tijani Renders na ben abin say soko city be call ba betia ne sekese bi so be fa chire ma be fa so the power remains with the English Premier League in terms of their monetary standards but I think the pool we need someone to start getting the pool for the Premier League. You hear team back say, "Obey's our pool no here." Because it is one of the most talked about league in the world. But pool na ya ka pool no wasem no. Ebi ni for example, enra di no sin ya ya kan wasem. Chelsea pe meboa. Liverpool pe meboa. Ba koda na say, Obebo Madrid. Madrid. I'm telling you for a fact, if Florent Vet come on the Betty starter, can sit in common or crowd baby. Barcelona was cast or pay Florent Veta. In common that baby cross sit in common with Muni Nano, a backbench crown common. Share Osimen or Sinicano on so Asna Mucha way, Mucha Real Madrid and Barcelona and Team see a striker Osimen Bra or Betinisika Swako. The pool of the Premier League, as the transfer market is going on, any the way music kasem ni nyoma push cost running the pool no questionable kakra. More reasons why the quality of the Premier League, most of the time, they will play so well in the league, but when they get to the Champions League level, and when they need to deliver now for more to and the pool no crowd the PSG crowd benya biama Kivicha Kvaratskhelia free Napoli. English teams no so Manchester United here left winger meboa Liverpool no mu here winger meboa ba he baby akoda no kofa bai wako Paris Saint-Germain fancy I think it will take time for that pool to materialize and the only way that pool no betimi aba soro no de bia meka cho say ejina teams miensa so Liverpool, Manchester United and Chelsea. So mo pick it up. No more consistent to Europa. They will bring back that pool to the Premier League. I'm going to this pool no. Everywhere.
Because someone say Premier League the most competitive, and I say that the most attractive.
The most attractive league.
Yet
the pool. The pool.
Young players from Mobile, you know, be a La Liga now.
The pool.
And La Liga crash such. One is a dominate to Europe.
The pool.
Collectively, individually, Ballon d'Or.
A ban is Europe, a ban Champions League, a sound Spain.
The reason why I'm talking about Chelsea is also mono. Okay, I want to see what Toboli asked for because Roman Abramovich has some of these things in the Kenya and Komokraki BD. Now I'll set an example for you. Say Kylian Mbappe, if Roman Abramovich was still at Chelsea, he would do a lot of things.
Clifford Cheba was so say the only problem about England and on the taxes no na.
Also we off the pick taxes. Let me say, but now say contract now players they sign the do after tax. Now say most of the contract these players they signing after tax. It won't say your story about transfer after tax say no budget. After tax say no budget. Most of them discuss those things because they know the situation at these clubs.
What be fair be
what you say? Be fair chile da.
Remind you come here on Cheba for you know. Just Spain cry Cheba is taxes in England. Spain
offshore no yeah choose here.
But I say England from source.
England from source.
And I want to say ebio invade tax but La Liga more than between 2016
by England from source.
No contest of tax. Because I have tax crowd the seven boys no.
Yes. By England here straight from source. First you look at the quality of the players now with the Premier League now they will need superstars, they will need a lot of things to push them. But Arsenal in their striker's choice, me fancy they be America say Arsenal team there that no. Where the likes of Gyökeres ni Osimhen no omun kotwa say scan because salary no Osimhen e page no Arsenal ntwa. The only realistic option near Gyökeres no back ofa. Gyökeres no I believe say we're proving itself at every single stage be our do. Now at Coventry City we could see that the last season no contributing not less than 25 goals. Assist in my. Ana menya botrash and sporting season after season. Then I wanted to see him in Europe in the Champions League, how obesity deliver. Then he comes to the Champions League and he starts scoring too. And on the age, you know, so 28, 29. He's what as when he peak years nimu. And a baby of free buy or Brighton and Hove Albion Kakra San Oko Coventry no crano. He understands the terrain and everything in the English Premier League. I believe that he is the ideal fit Arsenal should go in for. Some back of fan the naba. Some bon fan more. But a more fan on that. Said an amidi kakano. You need players like Rodrigo. Rodrigo age in you baby ow.
I'm doing say.
I make up pool no one sem no Rodrigo mo age no. And then do baby waje Champions League or Real Madrid. Waje La Liga or Real Madrid. Yes. Rodrigo wants to be the main man. I'm telling you for a fact. If Rodrigo should come to Arsenal, left wing go new be anche.
Okay. Because on also no position of Pepe the left wing.
So Bekati no about shot.
Yeah. On your right winger.
There be on pass it. But Real Madrid no more than a ball right wing. And a second striker. No ball bonus kaka Brazil national team go say cry dear man because left wing or Rafinha je wa boso. This one only bought 10. Emma Vinicius pass o. Eso ne na mase o.
No, classical 10.
On your classical 10. He's a proper left winger. So Oba Arsenal and your man me be established one the positioning no obetime establishing itself as the left winger now person establishing itself no.
Yes.
Number 2 some main man syndrome now e won mu say not even the main face of the club no can so very important. I don't think Martinelli will be obetime to Rodrigo.
So what the yenhwe say Arsenal afa Gyökeres. Na oma confirm the signing of Rodrigo. Squad no nyina no. Na say we no signing e ba omo fa winners winner like serial winner ana oba so so no pe project on be the face no so Arsenal squad no nyina Rodrigo betimi be the face.
Oh of course no more Arsenal team no one age trophies chair no. No, there are big nights in Europe that way. Said the new Ticasso or a big game player.
Yeah.
You can rely on him say game way baby a dream more thing he will step up for you. But baby I mean new to so jina fa kone say Arsenal player bi omo de ne ba sisi e bia no the expectation is say obabogum.
Well, not to cut you, but Florent Vet, the na me na no pay ne papa ne ne mama ne buy no. Say me conference na boy no so kan ho. But pictures no man nya na say de omo pe no. So see ade me nya na say no to Man City Academy ho. Ya kan City Academy ababi omo yo mo training facilities on. Omo de no call to. I'm say na mind blowing.
Let me my men cast in Mississippi. Now no na make a story be share about me ne wankasa onua obusuani papa frane ban edin komo also omo very close to City. Now see across and name a picture be omo from omo no part no ma ton players be 7 their Manchester City nkoda. When City wants a player, the length and breadth they will go for even akoda keto or 14 years 15 years no. Imagine Florent Vet. City fan koda de omo call off ekobo away games e de omo full flight ko Dubai ko show enjoy man kola bo games e de omo tu kwan ko other countries as compared to the likes of Manchester United and Liverpool academy for no title promo na iti wo man koda no mutimi gada omo se no mo de omo ko Dubai no mo ya no ma ko share me ne nkofo ne kakra no ma ne nam ani ama we City assistance or sign akola or the next corner trophy room ni nyina sit rich ne team ni ye bibia ma no e ma akora na fully convinced e bo come team ma Kevin De Bruyne as penyimu bi kra video de send o so badwani team so they are taking the football management to a different level in England.
Yeah, so say they are
I wouldn't be surprised. Just one flight
no na me kind
and back.
They say maybe doing the transfers and the bewomo.
Just a for patch hole.
And
just a buy minute pap floor and
say buying for no stand favorite because of not papa stand no.
Yes.
But for Hans Vet and the wife and the be fly.
Yes.
I go for Amsterdam. I be see Blackpool. Ya drive all to a bus city there.
The treatment they will give to him no. Na fancy baby mesasu wo hope mark lani say Pep Guardiola will make him a superstar. He will make him a superstar easily. Top. Or in the game, they go different level. So you look at Vincent Kompany. Bayern Munich is a top club. Bayern Munich represented the heart of Germany. But to say the national team now, you can do things for Bayern Munich and do things for the German national team. By coach Ben Akobo and him. Fancy to be a sign of my counterpart. Hurricane move now me the example no e ma refi say Thomas Tuchel e frɛ Hurricane e ko Hurricane one Hurricane ko di nkomo so imagine say Kenya Tuchel so amfa na so ansimu bi apart from Carl Hezronga anyway mu akobeba it we Pep Guardiola de na simu atamfo na frɛ one na wie
almost say on a betray so be ban na homo.
Say no, on said the difference between Bayern Munich. Mama say one example. Bayern Munich no mo pe Neymar dos Santos Jr. Tamana Pep Guardiola or Bayern Munich no. Neymar say, omo di nkomo ni du akire ma Pep Guardiola kra ka che Neymar say wo memo ye superstar, memo age Ballon d'Or. Dia me ye wono amanfo ntimi nye. But at the end of the day, no, what proved to be the difference is 222 million euros plus other benefits I attach it. Bayern Munich could not offer the monetary aspect of whatever na in name and papa epe. But in terms of footballing project, the Bayern Munich bet my offer so well. What the 2 PSG? But baby as see a City no one. Obet me my footballing project, and at the same time obet me some Oscar. So Florent Vet can literally get 2 things with Manchester City. Bayern Munich ain't me fa ni mienu nyina nye dey. Emma no. So okaso kopa. But fancy, me has signing say bi mo ye pa United bebre. Fancy Man United bebre.
Some of the almost say Liam Delap and Mateo. I say open Man City and me one.
United bebre. Fancy because we share the target of City. Share Liverpool target. Now Liverpool per Jeremy Frimpong per Dean Hodgson no onyo no so kwafi ono so per striker.
The best am kan bibi o mama mfa ma me refi Liverpool dey no kwa me refi. Jeremy Frimpong dey no so coach na no kasa o so me use as right winger to say the ball Leverkusen want to say right wing back. Na me busa Steve say na sana Salah Ananas was celebrate me right wing back, bet me a sample to set front.
Yes. It's a 3-4-3.
The right wing go, but okay, say feed them last season. Coach no a bass over Bama story be say Matisse over so Salane Arnold a position. So Liverpool clearly.
Yeah.
Salah should have more typically as a winger this season.
Salah senior might be as someone. Now he plays more as a wing forward.
Yeah.
Not a touchline winger. And Salah now confirm me. Says he's a coach in man even defensive duties be my name track it back. He just have to be at the right place at the right time because one of our best finisher. But me United issue ni United players no more penna. Then me some whole questions be Sir Jim Ratcliffe like maintenance it. Because Arsenal per Rodrigo or per Gyökeres or per Osimhen. Now over City the omope, over Chelsea the omope. Then you look at United. United a Pemwaya Liam Delap. There be Rasmus Hoyland. Assemblyman Tessie.
Wontumi 101.2.
Oh, Rasmus Hoyland. Rasmus Hoyland. What's a super Liam Delap? There's a movie on one ever one young corner, one ever improving your uncle.
Manchester.
Then you look at and not DB Crime take quite a boat. The future is bright. So all person will compete with a column hots in Odoy. Are you a joke?
I love Bobo not here.
What? Radina Couple. Have a Manchester United. But do you know why it hurts so much to see Manchester United at this fancy? A dream maybe no. Manchester United Borough Tottenham also best player and wine.
When success evades you, evades you too. And then I come into said,
no, I said room. Also there be Arsenal. Oh, top scorer anyway. Robin van Persie, person in the league. What fan or not the number?
You have top level success.
No fancy and dear. Liam Delap.
You had top level success.
That was the but Gary Neville, Mokasa, no Munchas, or Mokan win a team Nigu.
Fire by 4.
Gary Neville, Mokan win a team Nigu. Say Obuafu say. Obuafu say because English players know team name they were team progress and one also.
Whoa,
United, I heard you. First, as some night, I heard you.
Someone Newton cancel month ago, Mayajatum. Newton guys all can say. Manchester be Pamambo room Abia somewhere early next season.
Now coach is up a striker.
Imagine Man U.
Oko to Liam Delap na mano.
What's the move, Bray?
Fancy me that. This summer now we are going to witness an interesting summer signing. Now some clubs will need marquee signings. Others will need to have strategic signings. But why a story from an economy and also area code story now about Florian Wirtz, the potential move to Manchester City now. Ama ma digi deep kakra into why possibly a bit me ISR. You see, Roman Abramovich abe the pace setter for say Obowrim from the unknown. Abasisa the dynamics of the game in terms of transfers and in the in the Premiership especially. But say share the Premier League, European football and in a dominant. Adi obia player bia castle person Jibino are winning the UEFA Champions League. So there are traditional clubs and as a certain group of names this trophy it runs in circles among these names. As the Manchester United, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and the other big clubs. Omona trophy way a circulating among them. Now, a new message and they say the Abu Dhabi owners came to Manchester City in 2000 after some motor team from Tassin Shinawatra. They started with Elano, Benjani Warawari, Steven Ireland, Tabenahim. These were the boys no Musiaka for Man City. Progressively, a Nyoma assassin in terms of almost signing. But the basic then and the Yabedru level be Bayern Munich is a German national in Florian Wirtz.
Yes.
I could be a dream. Our Germany say I would want to play for Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. Because so share the Germans our culture and how they are brought up. they believe in collective effort. In Tosha, despite all the beautiful football, any intelligent game goals, any nyoma you about Tony Cruz, no, never at any point in our who say or call for an individual glory, and now a bit of ego a show. From 2007, or started with Sukutapasu and the under 17 World Cup. That was the season Yehu Boan Kekech for Spain. The same year, no Yehu Sadek Adams, Kevin Bosman, Duke of Polako, they went for that tournament. From there, and Yehu Tony Cruz, one Shenechi. But at no point now say Tony Cruz behavior and the BBA say he's fighting for an individual award. He was focused on his game. The Germans naturally believe in that collective effort. It's not saying no shadow who say the world best player a free hop, but that is not their target. They would want to achieve things collectively. And into the Pema Tasaka, bet me Diama Germany, to the World Cup, they will be successful. But we see in China story in quite different. But they say no, Manchester City outgrow to a point to say they have the power to lure a player or a German national from say Ombo Emma Baimini, but rather Obebo for Manchester City. All because of what? Adia me can say not trophy no I revolve among these names are my boy the AC Milan's Real Madrid and they Manchester City in Swabo Rema or the Champions League in the Fano Tunche, Manchester City abaya club what me my World Footballer of the Year. Adiana Chelsea and Timmy Anyebi. So who be a poolia, they are building that. They are creating that niche for themselves in their own right. Fano Tunche, they have the most celebrated football manager over the last decade in Pep Guardiola. So what the Guardiola see her, now the Vasson company now is a no-go area for whoever wants to play under a certain managers. At the end of Guardiola, he has that knack of polishing talents. It is a kind of he will straight away tell you say where he will need time. So Ellen Haaland, Mabem, Yenya Kevin De Bruyne, a host of quality players be no more potential under Pep Guardiola no elevation by a polish omu game no. And then Manchester City, I'm a Rodri Abe Footballer of the Year. So how was the Akoma AC Milan, Akoma Ajax, Akoma Real Madrid, and the Juventus. Omuna was our category, no more the best right. So I'm here, near the Footballer of the Year. You will not be looking at Chelsea be our there. Straight away, the air channel, these clubs in the air show. So Man City now. Meka said when you fail to appreciate growth, you create a problem. Manchester United, Oma Anyesa, and they should be a Man City in drew. Oma ko offshore to Bayern Munich. I would want to see the end of this saga.
101.3.
If they are able to sign that gentleman, other big teams not ensure ye, because nothing is guaranteed in football anymore. Florian Wirtz is a real talent. The aspirations no different. He might be a German, but the whole person of football when say I would want to play under Pep Guardiola. And the only thing about mama a top talent this transfer window ebebo adiama Bayern Munich no anye Verson company. About the fact that or a German true and true and he want to follow suit. And now say the hierarchy and as a former footballers of Bayern now a more respected or more. But fancy, the risk here is that players are able to as a typical German and as a Bayern Munich legend. No? Time in on ball no a chem. So this current generation would want to watch players like Thomas Müller. So Obeshe be a Messi be a ball Bayern. Na be a pool. But Okofa Olikana. Omo age bracket and follow within the time of most of those players. So I know yet too attractive. You bet me the legend now and then Abekasa. But one shall not. But the next Barcelona player, I know see Messi including Komomana. There's a high tendency that player will be convinced to join Barcelona. So Bayern and touch no swag ni be free ho kakra. Coach ni swag ni ho. As against obi opeso Osaje Ballon d'Or. Bayern Munich in the current dispensation and the destination for the Ballon d'Or trophy. But Manchester City because of those managing the Manchester City club, because of the manager and the performance, consistency, 4-time Premier League champion on the road, semi-finalists in the UEFA Champions, all of his shoulders with Real Madrid. So Man City and so Abba in that category, not because of the trophies or winning or Europe, but their consistency in Europe and the born or more born. So one saga I would want to see the end of it, and me interest will hold you. Then Mate about Tijani
Reinders, yeah.
Fancy gentleman in Bonobo. My shiny ye papa. Me shiny similar one turning Crofomi and be born a You see, predominantly or a right foot all the time, no, pretty on the left side of the midfield. They try or pretty from that area. But if for no Manchester United for no say there was a period that and I'm convinced that Mattis delete the move to Juve, it was a bit premature because if you look at the talented free Dutch, but because it's a multinational cultural community, into whoever goes there, it be every year or thrive it, and it's a nation that is noted for the crazy love for football. That is why they have the finest academies. Into obi free wa bebiano. Recently, na come here says oh for play a free Dutch, a disaster because of Manchester United. Any players are called Juve, it was premature. I asked him no more in the UEFA Europa Champions League, no tonton David Klassen and then but typical academy boys, they would need time. Send here build it game, no. Ryan Gravenberch made the move, a giant leap to Bayern Munich or Koyen at Liverpool. Now so moment of time kakra and they say discussions because will be about Ryan Gravenberch ding and everybody Denzel Dumfries this gentleman Frimpong guy Jeremy Frimpong and now Virgil van Dijk Cody Gakpo Xavi Simons. So Dutch for no creative BB out in say Adiana Ekita Omugi years ago in the 90s Ebano they are rediscovering that the only bit Omo like a potent striker in terms of Omo anymore. But Joshua Zexi Nediana, I think he will need time. But baby are finding itself for not the enye. So many just say all the transfer news a lot of them obeti Dutch players are say yeah Omoye movement. Check the number of names I have from the Dutch line. So they are doing well. Only that some of the players move normally and in time. And no man to me and the environment more time, so be polish craft. No. But for that gentleman who bonny if Manchester City nyana, I did have Pep Guardiola last season and they say all the most of the signings I hit the ground running. Nunes from Wolverhampton. I didn't fat. Almost far players be and fat. I don't know the problem of Pep Guardiola. So he has learned his mistake. Back here we didn't 10 or 26 years every Sabi. But so typical of Pep Guardiola. I know nyano signings no wrong, sir. But for last season and your man but we are entering an era of Dutch footballers and check footballer of the year if they continue the way they are doing it.
Well, Steve, Medasina, Mount say no time Africa. Say if Pep meets Vet, he will sign for City. That Pep one-on-one meeting is something else. And indeed, our boy in Sorona Kasa several times so Emra or Emze, they are Shiana do Bishia because a boy no account Manchester Casa Mupe Brand Brubino. Well, come for now, BBI fine.
BBI will fancy. BBI fine.
BBI come transfers now, and one knows a month for any abro.
Oh, yeah.
What team? And now this season be also show.
Yeah,
now already a month for and already a Chelsea for them. So,
as a moon, one in Mrefi. As I want to say, hey, that's all the ceremony. The next is in the Abayro.Oma you for me on time one. So I feel no my embrany do when you can, but my year or more they are. I will be a bed dano. Oh, see any common and tosso our local no nafi and found some emra nafi. I said, and you may city away. I am command no course or sports ministry on the started at the free the sports minister and in some kakra at the to said it now no Panama Day amount or not do and they say athletes no omo a tournamenta. I am adding say you bit many ministry na mana support say womo amoma ko manim na the woman says say what they are to say omo establish sports fund at the to said a bear omo a tournament na umetimenya bibia eje omukwa na enye mpai bonko ase o ye tamachi nyame mfa monko the spiritual backing no eno etubetwa na afisi ye bompa ye krata wo machi a ministry enso diska aka ho ye ntie nsema honorable sports minister Kofi Adams.
The matter of a sports fund, and we are inching close to getting that really done, and I believe that when it is done, it will reduce some of the situations where we only give you spiritual support and spiritual backing without the necessary financial backing. We can then move. We back you spiritually, and we back you with what it takes to participate. And again, sports, you can't say today I don't have money, so I'm not going. And that it is tomorrow or tomorrow next that I will get money. By the time you get your money, the competition is over and everybody is gone. So we must always look for the money to be able to, because you alone cannot organize your competition. You have to compete with others. And so when the time comes, we would want everybody, the media, those of us in leadership, those who love the sports, to get involved. For all of us to mobilize and have a fund that can support the young ones especially. For me, we are in the period of talent and
relay team no nanu ya ne yeko compete ya yeko world championship nyame adoma September ya we animi sere be nua betimi akoyi na we ana ode tu dwa say sa relay team no omokoye Joseph Paul Almo anom ene agamo adwuma wo mu ekoye no wo say omo an mobilize wo musika e de koye ministry no and support wo mu na ade a wo mu de support wo ma the spirit behind the team and no ye honhom mo de tai chire na ni nyina ka ho bi tina sports fund and also ba
statement congratulating our 4x100 relay team for qualifying to the World Athletic Competition that will be hosted in Tokyo. They also went to Guangzhou, China, with their own mobilization and the ministry spirit behind them.
So can I so many yesterday they deal with military machi the ministry no spirit and no bo machi dom na e ba na ha dwen pa because athletics o kroma de e na ne support na dey pa but minister no so mehwe na o mabo mo women's football festival no e be ba so nyame adoma on the 18th of May and no an e hwe ani mo Legon Sports Stadium ho ana Jonina ladies o mo ne faith ladies e dey bo ani no e women's FA Cup final e no ba so na o mo hwe na afi o mo about 2024-2025 Women's Premier League Championship no and also about so ampem da ko ladies so many police ladies and a day boy and also a 6 p.m. to Ebowe 3 near Ebowe 6 na finiama aye kamana coaches ni mioni nyina obi ani abre say FA Cup na dia obetimi age na coach aye friend say Joseph Osei Wusu no ana Jonina ladies no a team coach at the moment say was calling for support say supporters meta say there be a game no ebetimi aboa ama maya no obetimi abo adwuma wi wo ye hwese eno obetimi ready na fe Joseph osei ousu na fe ono nsem kakra de tudwa de nsem ere aba coaches ni mi no obi akasa Joseph ere kakra tudwa na fe Raymond Fenin so ere kakra tudwa Faith Ladies wo coach ono so say ono de confidence akwan bia so wo mo ebetimi ahwe na fe wo mawini na nuama etima kama eno ensem kakra if you ode be de nsem no every emanano pay o show no so yewram na fe yento aso na yeni nkoma kakra ewo ye league no na fe yese de nuama enso ebesi akọ ede afa na before say yebeko ye league no bet power for no partners and the Ghana Football Association almost say nyame adoma locker room bonus no omo be no double every amade FA Cup any teams ni me no obi obewini bia no omo ebe winning bonus no double every amama ye no promise a omo so ede abai de wonsem no ede somo ene day e ho ye room na afi ye nto aso na afi nkomo no ye mfa bi emra Ghana ye league no ana Chastela en kansem kakade afa say Ghana ye league ne de edu ba bi a won hye de hu se de nuama enso sitie obehu na say players equality kura ko form ye bo a nipa nko stedo ba league in general no assessment be abo aduro de nsem kakra atudwa afa ye ntie Chastela on Ghana league no kakra waka afa ho
me maka se mo se teams ni na de me fi se ji a ultimate yero kakra obetimi akoto because ji a players na nkasa no wo quality no nti utimi nya quality be 2-3 o ma utimi a results a o hwe nyina obenya so that this ana teji because a leg in there will form because the share quarter has match on boy and red here extreme say leg in there will form and until small teams ahead because of Oman's na first quarter players and by team by a quarter so team more as and quarter actually team your leg in form.
You don't say the bond dientia supporters and master remember game no so no so no wode nani ato form ahwehwe mu a ehu dientia supporters and master dem Taylor e denti na ogidi se supporters emma
o Krobi Asante Kotoko bobo de ani na emedwuma no ayemre kakra and omone recruit Chelsea omo premier teams omo din omo support kakra bono community e wa ha ne takra de ne eyini na obi ti se Sam Obuadu na won so
somebody atudwa ana de won semede ba na on Karimzi to zo kan sem kakra fa no wona dwuma wa bebo de amakrobi Kumasi Asante Kotoko Yeromo Kotoko ewo adako jache na afie hwese de nuoma si ko project na no pa no me de won sem by say omo ebo adwuma ehoye pass na omo chese form no ebe gym center nesro no ay administration block enti eno ana yeyi bi ede ama na so omo ebo adwuma pa eho se de be anuama enso ebe kama ede amomo se de eno panomeka ne Ghana gas for so enra omo ko ho a omo ko hwe be bi ombe astrotef no ede amakrobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko nto omo empanifo no ko hia na pinkra ne team ni nyina se de be ombe boa na omo timi ahwe na ene astrotef no nuama ye kama Diamakrobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko eno nsem eno no Kwesi Asante nso Kotoko fonenra ana omode buy se omo terminating the contract no ojoni team no January nemum injury situation ni ade ntino enda ade se ono enso ebetimi ato aso nto omo yenu nyina atena se omo age atom ono nso isi team no waja ato a ono nso ko akoto aso ewo ba bi foforo eno kakra free ode ba na ene nyame adoma House of Oak na God FC omo no omo ebo friendly game eno ewo probi mine 3 p.m. and a has enso game no eba so de onsem de man na de nti has friendly game no coach Abubakar Watara hwese ne obe test the players no na rest of the game na kan omo de akorum no mabo said e be nuama ebitimi akoye former chairman the House of Work Yera Harizako e nsem kakra to do say Yera Fogua fede ebo adwuma o has pa nemom omo twa no ahia no omo ane problem no because omo no time o has no Division 2 players ne one player bi anu a wo be fa na ba has see has wo be who players a wo mo ba na say has for no so wo ma drop paper eco form yenti Harizako kakra orituda.
Toby is doing very well. I'm not even well against my boss, you know. I mean, he's doing fantastic. I think the people around him who are not helping him. You know, in my time, if you see he's here standing beside me, in my time we don't buy 3rd and 4th division players. When you play in the league, you know what I mean, like you see, we tell me, oh look, There's one player that called Mensah, he's very good. We put his name. We ask VC to go back and talk to the players. Then we see another player in another team. We go back and talk. This is how you build a team. In my time, we don't sign contract with the boys. You know what I mean? I hear this thing, what is happening in House of Folk or in Kotoko. Kotoko will not be finishing the league and they'll start selling the players, and House is doing the same thing. Then what do you expect? There's more than all the different teams. You know what I mean? Because you know why they are selling the players? The income is very bad. The attendance of the stadium is very bad because there are no good players playing football, isn't it?
Dia omoba na fiwa indiscipline course o side no ma be final na coach I friend say Samobodu game omoba MTN FA Cup omo ne kotoko no che say omo ewie game no aggression bi odi rap pitch no so a na odi kwahwehwe referee no omo che say mana no enya de good into omo enso a charge no say ne hono enso emeyi ne ho ano into until Thursday and omo di amane say ja charges omo di abono no ono mre na omeyi ne ho ano na afebrekum Chelsea players no Mizaka Free Numne Steven Amankona Zakaria Fuseni any Seidu Mohammed and so ya charge umo so umu chese umo adi umu ye de we umusi approach referee decision no umu dimirika ni nyina no ya ade a umu so chese itiamra into umumra miyano na Nations player Emmanuel Ano Kotoko any nation will share go no or celebrity ya na what sure I belong to Jesus egu nanim amos adia waye de ahwe every phone bit ma fine na no cre wo mo ade by senra 500 cities and more ade fine Emmanuel Ano na no response ni was say why can football players celebrate LGBTQ plus sexuality but not their love for Jesus? Romans 14 verse 8 was if we live for Lord, if we die for the Lord. So whether we live or we die, we belong to the Lord. If kingdom work on the pitch and watch for Eddie Atuachi, next one day was here then nyama bi yetimi ye yegitum ewo grupama so now ono say I belong to Jesus eno ya ade a eye bone a mo nso ma fine no eno eye response a ono so de eba ye don sam no the abanti coach sika kono enso kotoko omuguso bon komo se de be enu ama be kama ye di kan aka won sem bebre e de a che broni fitanso enkomo eguso koso nti eye between kosik and afi abrofo and ye do omon komo sisi but enkomo ne de eguso a e koso a session of team ni bi epe se broni ba na obeboa because kotoko possible say omu wini MTN FA Cup no mbekọ Africa so mu hia coach our experience obitimi abeboa yeah Maxwell de ne dem say bibia ho Maxwell no eni kire nkran ono
na fans ne bi so say omu manam be coach
and yes ebi mu so mpe but ebi mu pe as omu pe no mu odu yeah no
obaka say no na utia
I don't know utia o dey say o be cancer chiri asem ni ade by killer na okay say killer di untia so ye killer o kai o ncheba untia
wo na menye birthday we nko free mo shadow age nye CEO de ne ma no na ye deputy CEO nana ma doku a ankan entry eba awoda na ne ana akwada no anya 3 years inti nana fia ana say yenhwe ne ba nana ama doku a ankan entry ene no wanya mfie miensa yenhwe awoda pa na yenkan cho se nyame nhwa onye wakoma so ade ma na afi o ma bibia anya fine famanti am say nana fia ba no ene no odi na awoda interpret
picture no way
e wo shadow akọ picture no so on the bed
no ade hey ade baba otako baba wana hey Shadraki
no ti yenye na fe ye bemwa na ya baba to aso de front
yes fancy I think say if there's one thing I betimi adi hu nkomo pa okroma say abo empanyifo abaso a women's football how development in the city are core for the last few years I think say under Ket's administration, the importance of women's football, especially in the FA Cup and the league, superb to a certain extent. Say representatives, say tiny or more, even the African or the Champions League, women's African Champions League, a bit me quack about the final, a bit me bark about the semi-finals. To hear the progress of more making it the preparation towards the women's FA Cup final and the league, Nankasa, northern sector, and southern sector. Now, I'm eager to see what is really going to happen at the end of the season. Teams are very represented. Now you have Jonina ladies, any fail. Jonina for the story, fancy baby a team ni free buy on baby baby on baby on faith ladies babisha. Then the main league championship they was up in da kwa and Ghana please. The other first fancy when Ghana please so represent to CAF Champions League, Women's Champions League. Up in da kwa kwaba as I could be kra. And I think you're on the right path. And between 8, if that is weekend, we are you're very much prepared. But just still and now, walk on. Share the fancy. Korokone has any emotions, seven levels, and any teams, and any players on Wontumi mono. Based on different things. For example, the environment that has been created at these two clubs. Yet man coach Abdul Karim Zito Bafa Kumasa Sante Kotoko Juma or see players near too comfortable Kotoko. Citing one thing, environment. Konkonsa those who team Nimdodo. Another thing, culture and environment. O check how to folk in Koma Koswa. Coach Watara says sabotaging with team Nimdodo. I'm a place near training crane de Mukojina Park, so Mushe goes to training as bad in the Kome matcha on Timmy more environment. Fancy, our players tend to perform more. And with the lower class, due to San Your Mammy and Sawi. One, a honor taste and preference near different from big clubs. It's a ma ohanga now the bebo born near different cra, a compana the bebo. Because honor wouldn't say Jumana away and I can try and shut down so sad. And so no all press over bonus our platform na you appeared with free one stage, you are copying with different stage. Now see Casimako. I don't know to me more. Send a meba hono. Then fancy number 2. Ever to us the environment that is created at these clubs. Fancy at the lower clubs, the discipline levels, then you maybe almost so hono. Aha, yes, so. Number 3, the expectations now hono no. Fancy I want to be anka say league but kromana oni omobona na ubegina hono na bobona bono to come fa ho nto it will trim to me nya the said the office so pe enye the office ope because town oni o man team to one money ya o security kra na was so careful but omunya movie ba hanom na fancy because the orientation is so ya poor. Anything modernity no the environment that has been created over here no mobile na fisubana sesa boha osidabi bofa osidabi adechi anu amema na beti so oba training na yesi osidabi ana to be amementi o mas but me no Korokone has to raise the standards of their club culture and environment that they create, and that will also come through consistent performances and results. How be with team it will be in team so because consistently. So, oh, boy, Africa and Krampa, you even get more supporters to even come to the stadium. Instead of just still fancy me, my hair Alali this year, and my hair Pyramids this year. Ebu omu timi ball try empty stadium. Alali ball league gamer, otimi bono nipa dodo na nko. Pyramids airbo Orlando Pirates who nipa na was stadium more. But fancy with time, almost as a Pyramids here consistent. No more CAF confederations can find na almost na man for us as here stadium. She Ali. The semi-final of the CAF Champions League, and the man the Padodo na ba stadium be say game one be game no bebre no because no was do on anniversary. That's a Friday. So it is a general thing in Africa we need to have a second look at. Clubs not they be no munya conform mo stadium be league games na at least so when you full capacity kra no nya 40% kra na and the consistent performances at the continental competitions because Hanama for a fed up with league games. People are fed up with the brand now a ball as Ghana Premier League. Because don't know him see associate results no them near deba. And you no kura na e ade a yaka to omutrim. If people are not moved by that, people see say the CAF Confederations Cup and the Champions League na e genuine. Fancy Zamalek ne Dreams FC. game near ball baba sports stadium no hwe ni padodo e kohwe Zamalek ni Dreams FC na nkofo dodo mo kohwe Mediama any Alali. And I can tell you for a fact, say, if Kotoko and Haas are playing week and as a season after season, or Cup Champions League, at least or quarter final, a total association fancy league matches no Eden Kofoka Krabeba. Eden Kofoka Krabeba. Because Sunday over Cup Champions League, midweek, or Premier League. He wants to see how the team is preparing for the next game on a Sunday, which is a cup game. It's numerous, sir. Emre Daniel was here, Daniel Hubi. Until results become consistent, especially on the continental front. I don't think some of these issues we can address it. And then you come on AC will be South Africa no kwana nipa dodo se ne Orlando Pirates free mu no ko hwe mu game mu bo na enra nipa dodo mu ba stadium ne foto to tama no Orlando Pirates eba omo ne Pyramids ekobo first leg and sen omo wa the second leg. Then we understand say sanyo man be bia, but we need to make sure say we set a standard. When the standard is set and the results are coming, na consistency no wo ho a the supporters will come. Omwa ba be hwe omu teams no iteni de bia na be ya chopa e na say ochina bra menko ochina say dabi fancy a chopa ne de enye ebeba de dey come. But sometimes you need to let your results and consistency speak for you.
And no nan kama be ka say fans no beba Jesus Africa, but Africa no so am me support team no e wo domestic league no one qualify for Africa na say the FA Cup. Africa na wo fan on so open on so wunya. But ya na odim komo na san ko say these fans now swap back on several times. Clubs no end up disappointing our supporters.
Asem na no aka no.
Any fans no. What am I say? Because on the bar league no one disappointed, Africa no one disappointed. Now to so until fei wo friend no kra na on person obeba bim.
No be dey. Because by the end of the day you be born na we na dan di sum. Na dan na awreho. Okofia na o chill. You see, Adia na sure money says some prefer other teams, no disrespect to different teams in all the Ghana Premier League. But some prefer other teams say fancy. We mu de ni kwaso mo sheye. Bi se ko ti kromo ase. Na team otoso bi abe 12 in the league. No about kromo na ko abe born pampe no a sheko football. But these fans wouldn't accept such kind of results due to the fact that ko standard any the amount of money ni players or more any the amount of money ni kwa say this team to be sure. Na afia mo bu afu no mo de nam ho a ye ma stadium ye ma it hurts because people are fed up. I don't know brand no people are fed up. I don't see how you sitting who's at the say the brand Ghana Premier League. Me akotokoni aduana start stadium no po na chi na nipa kura sa danko but first akotokoni aduana e board doma. Afanso we na ba bi kura na do na asi o.
So doma de kura na okay. Ana do Kumasi na okay.
Let me doma de na meka. Enye Kumasi de. Still was the first leg between Kotokoni and Aduana Stars. Nipa dodo a wo expect say komu gumu say to the Patrick Esu edu ko ball free kick man ball. We are say no. Nipa sha na ko bebre. It's VIP wana na aboma na poachi no. First na ka poachi ni kanta no kra unya ba bi kra no agina no aye commentary ahe ball ni bi. Koroko want to be chem. Kanta na chi da honom sa ko fit to pio fa ball no apega tam. House of folk travel to set centers. Only part of the fancy the brand and the product Ghana football in terms of the Ghana Premier League, you know. Say no taste and preference and ayira. And the big clubs no kwa na komoko towns no kwa we say pulley crowd no. Say e te kon keten. There are few places na you see omoko a ebi ometime pulley crowd. For example, baby ani Summer Boy. But there's a worrying issue that we need to have a second look at. But fancy we can go back to Jame, Quadaroma Misro, Ewo Fumosa, Keo Boat, Mema Lizzie.
Kobot.
Aha, Kobot no. Aha, Kobot. So I could jam say one at it. We are so what you hold in Alpha. It's Kojam in Amea Doma Saturday. Mamma Lizzie at the form. aha na Saturday baby hey okay ti ato me nkra dada jollof no fa nyago it na me adoma 17th May and 18th May eyeye nkuja intimadaroma nkuja me na ye nkra ma me achi kama
akra se me de ne ye ne
se na ewie ye no ko na aka se jollof ye jama nko akodi
101.3 nyame sawa
jama no da for me na ye jama no
na aka se jollof no nko na akodi
ye kata na chi kra
okay ti ya boga do chiro
ya your game no dey say ya kan ho asem dada but all levels of the game no quality are dropping everywhere. Mashallah, my follow La Liga too. And your quality are now last 10 years. Last 20 years, last 10 years. Quality collectively, individually continue to depreciate each other. But there's but. But and I say, the Ali that came to meet Kotoko and rose to fame on the African continent. I'm maintaining a relevance. I catch up with quality, era after era. It to compare Ali Timia Imam Ashaw and Rao Bonidino. About 8, Imam Ashaw about 8 for Ali Tim we say. About trick about 8 when Amando da Silva Mutimino. About 8 now Amando da Silva bought
Flavio Modena.
Masa Gilberto Amando ni Tite Sebo the pinball keeper dodge. That Ali team no had super quality. No more dominated the continent and so. And Ali continent and so. They are still continue almost dominating. But the quality of Abu Trika squad is different from the quality they have today.
True.
But to maintain the relevance they are still the number one. And so the quality the difference is the same thing. House of Folk, the same thing Kotoko. House of Folk team now don't bote Chastela Moko form Bobino. Fakoto to omo teams are atwam omo dominating no the 115 the 117 those squad na has for body na polo mu bobino that squad na is super quality essence Steven apia mo de na mu free mu koye laye mu ja hokoya don bote mu babaji no don bote mu de na wasoro se Malika ko wu amode no Vincent Atinga mu team no na wasoro ese ansabotwe Christopher Nete Christopher Nete and some Christopher Nete
come na more time
one said quality no depreciate but your two clubs are dear no me person me buso something to match up with quality no look Barcelona cover Kevin De Bruyne and na no pay but the moment na to no Gundogan no Barca as a club new say and pray the one yes can confer into assessor sabe there second class second average and near Barca ekotonton in studio half no otimi gina waka say o me pedani o me pewe e back aka no yes can more obesa so akọ extreme quality so yeah check this Madrid squad so doing some Madrid and the quality na hu na go back and check in the previous generations and see quality Madrid Mbappe superstar ne it is here time nintia but all the Mbappe ne kototo the watching no and drew no number 9 a Madrid fan in the last 10-20 years we better say original Ronaldo phenomenon but Madrid continue to look out for a number 9 with my be it Benzema or whoever Mbappe but they need to talk Ronaldo who ye you see generation after generation quality continues to depreciate but yeah clubs will be a year to catch up with the aspiring squad no and when I'm Manchester United so much no look at the squad Europa na United netanabia but that is where they are now so Man City Liverpool be more idea then you check the two teams in the squad no so kotoko squad no hifa na the community and say you man foka obeti bibia na obobo otibechem na obobo ayaw anybody in Bobo pa, but Obako to connect House of Foka, the conversation will change. We would have to take a bit of time and say any para slot in smoothly no and yet easy sir. Sabona obo Frances Chene atina bechem wa bo every time Frances Chene no won you to the bar house e be call. Yes anete. Impo and na yakotone has pressure no come no. Still ba bebre. Na yes Savino na bo Girona no e best player no. O Spain no. No ba England ye huna na. Obaji Man City esi na betiso. But what Girona no jibo dada no na me catch you the level now be shoot yakono e would demand say from Lille to Arsenal ya hu Nicolas Pepe one a time obi beba be flourish but standard ne de yawo oye dai oba e be kan but obi bu say how do we then catch up with omo wasoro na di kan kono e be bre wotuwe o dai sumi o ni so say kotoko aduana kotoko brekum Chelsea betimi afele baba yara half
for now the Gisebia Africa no
and for now no then yes make have brekum Chelsea ne kotoko half capacity stadium near 40,000 betimi afa 20,000 brekum Chelsea ne kotoko na brekum Chelsea ne bechime yaw baby a game no kono ye here rescuer especially your league you know
rescue in this case every day
18 teams no me hu fa so be e wo so da 18 teams we e ye choma me dodo e ye yo dodo e ye yo e the chancellor can say ayefo e de bi mu aba no ye Egypt boss say Switzerland boss say Norway boss say and Germany boss say Germany boy it Switzerland at so we 12 say Norway I 12 Egypt me see Egypt yes say Egypt league no check here I won do 18 no and then who sa and then who say you drew we need to cut down the list your Premier League you know member ball list me ball me pure obi mbe share anymore member ball list but yaw say ki twa bebregu mo ko division 1 na ya twa division 1 no so bia gu mo ko division 2 na ya division 2 no so ko division 3 na ma ye ball no aye quality ya city no na ye pesa ya rich na ya de na ye ya $0 na nto agu $0 tugu me ko Nigeria me $600 me se $100 siko mu yima me say bebre me say $100 me se ko Ghana skema na me ka say ya de na ye $0 be for free so esa say ye cut ye league no so be do be 10 teams 12 teams entra me kana menya ka mebo bon se see omo amadwuru mu ba be pe ya me share menya sem but 18 club league na ye bono so fa so ni say ade bia e common sa won sabe kan ya woni bo nya din ade a ye valuable e ade a won ta enya scarcity brings importance scarcity na ye boy league 18 teams bi mo 1,000 7 million 8 million musa say last time e twa na ka cry da ba ya bo chibidi why do we kill the spirit of these players our brass such player no and ko division 1 won say on drew premier no obo division 1 no because 12 teams play the premier no nti wa nyere ho won tumi mawuram na choni egum 18 clubs sebe so mfa so ne say me nu pere be ko Africa ba ko pere de ko Champions League ba ko pere ko Confederation. What is the benefit of playing the 18 club league? Why you ko tokene has be asin chan
so mo so ne so
why ayaw why you and I come ko ball listen obi amamo babo menu
boys no na sometimes omo quality o
yes
your boys no ball league no me dey my player or ball right full back with me ball left full back ya dey Kamara na kana asemi week in week out no
every day about blaster too yeah blaster quality to we league
quality no there
Razak Simpson zoom and you know and I make an
no e nyoma bi na because nipa no picture boss ball crow ni bi was what city more ball league
o premier num
na obi ball league 4 months 5 months ni ntwa ne ka na FIFA manika de ne fa player wages and salary ho after 2 months class o sika man 3 months o sika man
that is financial strength no I don't know financial strength and oh kind of financial muscle of the club no I don't know checking no and I checking no so yeah 18 no doors no do 12 and I'm kind of kotokone has like you almost in chain me dey mam say why ade pa wanya stadium okọ Africa ba me dey ma brabegina ha na ma check Dr. Kwame Nations oba ye on chai but Nations adwuma wo ye no Nations bra ha bechem you've been consistent mo stadium mo tua nkra aka mo recruitment policy ni very nice mo ton nkra mo ho nkyere mo nya mo hye mo second round mo be mafia senior teams no bechem bra ha bi ya boy me na me nya asem anum ho we go stars move quickly musika some you good more pure stadium but move go stars
enya grow
they can move body mu hye anum mu nkue clubs and doors so my football nya fe aye cho ne gum 12 teams per rich
but so be a better quality
I'm telling you 12 teams like a league here na ki akate so akọ division enu ti na ma championship na ye rich no England America what's championship no super league
and I will qualify by no can all be now by 100 million pounds.
Yes, look at champion enu ti na ye players I timi bo championship no omo timi bo national teams no abeta mo nyina na say striker ko fa Thomas Brendan Asante omo nyina enu Bristol na me hwe no it's quality it's before now me rap premiership no yaw na wabre enu ntini so be rap premiership no ma we say Aston Villa we say Sheffield we timi ne Bayern Madrid Barca a pre-players because championship no itself are rich it's my Premier League na 12 no na ye Division 1 why 18 teams pe Ghana had make am in league bia Division 1 no 18 teams the whole Ghana Division 2 no be 30 teams na Division 3 na adults because a whole resource oriented a whole developmental stages Division 2 me ona ba ko me jana adwuma be coach team we me yes selection o say na man kwa mobi we amobi but my training grounds no we are second you have the second about to say that second but we mobi I'm developing the guys for you we don't track now attitude no nim na attitude or your training grounds at the cheme somebody's performing so well and some man a competition but how the oba wiki bia oba asema we more you are not helping my cause because of a resource and then I didn't keten in a three man keten referee for you to be bribe no and get 12 for you referee for to be name shop now only one me my coach division 2 4 years and you might be so field no so no and you can be a mafia and I come here begin I come no more come mafia because me no apart from me coach because you am in coffee me serve extra haka into your man's massa what you for team so seven ha no I say what you buying could do game no but yeah it will be able to say omunja and develop boys no but obi so per resource me say Ghana Premier League 12 teams yeah Division 1 no 18 teams Division 2 maybe I 30
as an 18 quad and we no more say press on about 20 club league
Newton I can a lot about our league, the Surrey States, and from where I sit, the Amihuni said, we live in a society where we don't try to solve problems, and when you try to point out an EMA and you're right now, you end up being victimized. And I said, I say, oh dear, I said, oh agenda we now. But we need a holistic approach to the whole situation. Say, international and Casa Jack, maybe I want there. And no about 12. The model of it media clubs are from there simple. And they had a standard wage gap. The average salary also with your player, Premier League, should be 3,000, 2,000. Qualified medical person registered with the Ghana Medical Association. I also pitch level, you say.
I'm in a club license for you.
I also who took this number of distance, and you can also game we are returning. You have to pay and sleep. So the way in Alabama, it will push a lot of teams. Me feel say you all can edimut into mind, but administratively we have a lot to do. Ya catchy football no ye ni ye anka onam wasa kropon wasa konya na nanko say ne cruise na tutu for myself kwan no because of galamsey no see ye ni ye there are a lot of talent omo wo ho omo to galamsey ni bi kombe jai but the industry sika wo but sika na wo no enipa be 14 pe bottom na eko out of the lot no enti serious baby we need government intervention also bem no mamra na yakete catch the FIFA say omra na dey run football no me di no be ba me krum ha anye yie ba me so pese football na yie na be drew level a ye hu no outside no but o can say o my be an football ekoyie bia na a true reflection of the governance country bia the boy papa bia checking the governance near papa reflect on football. So my governance nya reflect football. Cast your mind back, Mackay, you have a trainer for phone or Google. I brought for the man, you're my simple.
Rwanda, they are not also a woman, Rwanda for no. Because for president, they say visit Rwanda as sponsorship.
Vanzi.
On Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain.
me come and know to know about mine. Said now the destination is Tanzania.
Yeah.
First was Sudan. Now because of political unrest in Tiomonko, Tiomine Bia and the football echo you, especially our Africa. A reflection of among mine or send ye run a minor. Morocco, the United saying. Egypt, the United. Port Said incidents in this year, almost them bracketed by say this number of people here admit Korea, South Africa. A lot is going on right for them. So you see, there be a
salary couple.
Yeah.
It's a minimum wage.
Oh, kind of say, and only be a few.
Say, it be a team, be a found one level. Who play a one Jessica crowd.
The first year,
my mom was simple. We say hotels in here only this or hotel royal. You know, say roughly this is the range of my charge. Hotel premier. The idea friend a premier no, and cheap. It comes with a huge cost. If you want to make a step into the premier arena, near Ohuni, but or more ban. You for appearance fee and I say yes, start season. No, you discover we my clubs in India. To be $100,000 a call for team. You say more prepared for the league. Near opposite will be bubino or be make sure say requirements when be follow to be able to get sa sikano. You see, people just don't want to help. That is how I've seen the whole nation. Fancy, the be go to be anywhere bompire saying yame, a juma o yen ma scamrem, ma mindibi, minja menana numbi, me wako. Because Senior Ghana TN shape no after a very long time me analyzing Ghana, reading a lot and other things. I do not think that we are committed to changing anything. We are not. And we don't want to do because at the end of the change, be affected the Unya Kesiano. The Unya Kesiano in Penesa. The Unya Ketuano so pribi. You see, so our situation there, the government, the football people, if they really want to do it, fancy almost the 8 months. 8 months, ebe change the state of your football. Now we can about supporters, Mezana Neka. So opa there, me jitum say Adibia should have that attractive force. Maybe ada uni me kodi mutu he say ada uni ho me fa wachi o me kodi bia yi asafo ho no ade ne ya papa into you always want to be there
that force no
yeah ho me ko he na nya me mbabiem but say support team na yen supporters na ema team ne run any difficult for managers in the sense that we will always come, we will commit this amount of money. If you don't do this and that, we are not coming again. Whoever is running the team will be forced. And internet ne togo ye the oil because the supporters are not impacting the finances of the club, be it sales of jerseys and access stadium attendance. Into Togo pamwe pacho oh fasika na odija ono na ode brena mana chingiana. That is how it is.
So now make us say like more na fans omo supporters.
Yes.
England no tina man for so be dem because omo support omo twa dues omo ye bibia.
Ghana wait me out season ticket or season started.
Well, mamene Semens Vital Herbal me champagne for no enkasana ye ma me fa omodie no sesia agan nti ye ni nkomo the next 10 minutes ye omodie ye ni nkomo mfiri na afi ye mbo edro no ho dero menu ya say bibia ye find there na me adom fancy bibia ye kama boy nkomo ye or fancy again Semens Vital Herbal mixture and then the capsules and then anope ye ne ahwefo na wie ye ne ahwefo edi nhyiamu na ye ka Semens Vital Herbal mixture and the capsules obi anim say e again na aduro ne de fancy wo de nam de abrɛ wo de nini anti wie ya na yes anto de kama na fa wi anma jama kama no say neti when you know capsules yes say ya changing because first na so we ma anti de ma na ahwefo say say ye de akono abefo say we no ya